All right, guys, what's going on? We're here. We're live. Welcome to a brand new Poker Live podcast. My name is Jose Ingram One, aka Chicago Joey. I'm joined today by a woman who has one arm. She got into a very large fight playing live poker last week. Her and a woman got into a heated debate about feminism in poker. As you guys know, who follow that whole entire feminist debate on Twitter, the things were thrown, people were thrown around, and now she's injured. She's in a cast, and it's nice of her to join us today. Well, that really didn't happen, Jessica. What happened to your arm, man? I didn't get the story. I saw you went deep in a tournament. You posted a lot of pictures of money on Twitter, and then you had your arm in a sling. What happened here?
Yeah, so it's not. I wish it was a more interesting story, but kind of a long story short. I grew too fast when I was little, so I've had a lot of surgeries. That's what people always give me a hard time, oh, she's not that successful at poker and stuff like that, but. If they realize how much money I've spent over the years and how much downtime I've had to have having surgeries, I think they probably changed their outlook on that. But yeah, I've averaged one surgery a year almost since I was 16. So yeah, I've had my right shoulder reconstructed twice, my left shoulder reconstructed 3 times, my left elbow twice, my left wrist, my left knee, my right hip, my right leg. Those are just the ones that I can think of off the top of my head. So yeah, this one, I played sports growing up, and I thought I was going to go to college for softball. That was my whole plan. And then when I was 16, I went to Tennessee to play down there. And one day I woke up and couldn't move my arm. Went to a specialist, and he just said, I'm sorry to tell you, I have to be the one to tell you this, but you'll never play sports again. And I was just like, what are you talking about? I've been playing year round, my whole life. And he said, yeah, you grew too fast when you were little. So it's like a rubber band that's stretched out too far at every joint. So any repetition makes it loose, and then it comes out of socket, and you have to have surgery, right? So I said, okay. So everything changed from that day forward, and I got a waiver to get into the military because I didn't have a way to pay for college. And yeah, so I kind of laid low, didn't play sports anymore because of the military thing. I really couldn't. And in 2003, survived the war, all that stuff, and got home and was in a really bad car accident. So that's what made my left side go bad.
Well, this got started real quick today, guys.
So that's a long story, a short story, I guess. But yeah, so I knew I was going to be having the surgery. And doctors, normally when you go see them, they make you go through physical therapy and all that kind of stuff first, the most it gets shots or whatever to try to make it minimal. They try to do the minimal steps first. But with me, because it's never straightforward, it's never you're going to recover. It's not like I can go to the gym and it would fix itself. So I went to see my doctor on August 28th, this month or whatever last month, and said, hey, this is what's going on. He looked at my MRI and he was like, yeah, it's not going to fix itself again, obviously. I was like, okay. He said, well, he normally schedules 3 months out. That's a normal orthopedic doctor. And he knows my schedule. And I was just like, I don't want to wait 3 or 4 months. And he was like, don't worry, we'll work you in. I said, what's the earliest you can do it? And he said, talk to the scheduler, probably 2 weeks. And I was like, okay. So I scheduled my surgery that day or whatever, but the problem was then I went deep in the Brigada tournament, so I'd already had my scheduled tournament or surgery for that Tuesday, and I didn't want to cancel, but it was great because I scheduled it, my surgery, whatever, went deep in Brigada, had 92K, had a good weekend, and then flew back to Louisville, had my blood work done, had the surgery, and then laid in bed and paid bills all week and went shopping online. That's kind of how it went down.
What was the? Oh, I keep hearing a little echo on your end when I talk. Wait, it might go away. Let's see. I don't hear it now. What was the best thing that you purchased?
Oh, I'm a girl. It was all clothes. All clothes.
You purchased $92,000 in clothes?
A couple $1,000 in clothes, probably.
Well, I guess, you got to make yourself feel better from the surgeries from that point, right?
I'm kind of a life knit, so.
Well, I'm gonna do a little introduction for you and welcome people that are watching right now, and then we're gonna get more into that stuff as you want. You gave me 25 things to follow up on there, but we are live on Twitch, guys. We're live on YouTube. If you have any questions or comments, please let me know. You can watch on either. I think the audio quality ends up being better on YouTube. If you want to watch us back on iTunes, you can search for Poker Life or Joe Ingram, or you can search for. Yeah, if you can't find it with those two, you're probably not destined to find it on YouTube. And so Jessica, here's what I know about Jessica. If I was going to describe her. This is what I know about her. Jessica is a former in the Air Force, and she plays live poker. That's really the extent of what I know exactly about Jessica Dawley. So Jessica, tell the people exactly I don't want the full poker history because a lot of the origin stories tend to be rather boring and similar. So give us what exactly poker do you focus in now? I don't think you're a tournament player, but now you've had tournament success, so you might become a tournament player.
No, I would definitely never become a tournament player. I play tournaments. I just play like the high value ones, you know? So back in the day, like in 2010, I had like my best tournament success at Aussie Millions. But even then I was still like a live cash game player. I just, I like the social interaction. So, I mean, obviously because of Black Friday, like I definitely played online, like on Sundays, played all like the big majors and stuff every Sunday when I lived in Vegas. But I just like the social interaction, and I can read people very well. So it makes it a lot easier for me when I'm playing live against them versus online. I know you can do like a HUD and all that stuff, but I can literally just pick up so much just from looking at someone. So, yeah, I mean, I moved to Vegas in 08. I graduated college in 06 and got out of the military in 07. And I had been playing in the casino for like 2 or 3 years. I went to college at the same time I was in the military.
Okay.
And yeah, played online a little bit then. Like I like Paradise Poker. Do you remember Paradise Poker?
Yeah, it's like really old. That's old school right there.
I started playing on there and party way back in the day. And yeah, 2008 moved to Vegas, played there for a couple of years. And then as soon as live poker opened up in Florida, like I knew, like I was like one of like 4 or 5 people that were like, oh my God, it's gonna be so great down there. And so many people were like, I don't want to move to Florida, like it's so old, people and whatever. And now it's like everyone I live with and knew in Vegas, they're all here, which is kind of frustrating. But I knew it wouldn't last that long. I knew you couldn't like be the only person here.
So you play No Limit, or you play PLO, or what do you play mainly?
Mostly just No Limit. PLO was actually the first game I ever learned.
Oh, it's a great game. Isn't it such a great game? You get 4 cards. I mean,
but now,
I'm thinking about it. I'm getting excited right now. Sorry, let's go back to No Limit.
No, you're fine. I play mostly No Limit, but it's funny. Do you know who, I'm sure you do know who Lynn Ashby is?
Who?
Lynn Ashby. Lynn from Southern Indiana, lives in Vegas now. Yeah, probably one of the best PLO people in the world, I think.
A man or a woman? Sorry, I don't know who the person is.
Okay.
Is it it's a guy?
Yeah.
Lynn Ashby?
Yeah, real tall, skinny guy. There's no way you don't know him if you play PLO.
Does he play on the internet?
He used to, yeah, real big.
What was his screen name?
I have no idea. It's like everyone always asks that. I have no idea. I don't even know people's real like name in life. I have no idea what their screen names are. But anyway, needless to say, he used to play in the game that I played in back in Southern Indiana. And on like it used to be Caesars, now it's Horseshoe. Anyway, so like we all used to play the game, and he played PLO, and I really wish I would have just paid more attention and just played PLO back then, because he knew what was going on. Like he started playing, that was way back in the day. It was like 05, 06. He was crushing. Jesus. PLO regular game every week. And anyway, so I played 2-5 there, and then yeah, moved on. But now I play mostly No Limit, like 95% No Limit. But one of the games I play in at the Kennel Club, it ends up being like around the beach. So I don't mind that. I play just PLO high only and No Limit.
So what do you play, like 5-10? I don't even know what No Limit runs down there regularly.
Yeah, 5-10 really is like the main game that goes. Then like the mixed game will usually be like 5-10, 25, or the other day it was like 5-10, 25, 50. So
cool.
It's pretty big, but yeah.
And then you play the occasional high value tournaments.
High value tournaments, yeah. Like, when people say that, like it's mean 2 different things, I guess. But for me, it means like lower buy-ins with bigger purse, like bigger guarantees or whatever, bigger draws. So like you have like less of an investment, right, for your return on your investment. But also like this past weekend, I understood someone else's point when I said like a high value tournament. It meant that the players weren't that good, even though the buy-in was bigger. So that then meant it was a high value tournament. So I guess that aspect as well. So I fired 2 bullets instead of firing 1. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like it's tournament life is just like, I don't know how they do it. I mean, it's just so like you can go forever without having big scores, or even like min cashes. I mean, and everyone sells action and swaps, and by the time you get done with it, like I don't know one person that has 100% of their action. Even if they put themselves in, they usually swap. You know, like they don't have all of themselves in the tournament. So it's just kind of fun. It's like gambling. I feel like that's more like playing the lottery.
Tournaments are more like the lottery, you think?
But for me, yeah, I'm not a tournament specialist, so yeah.
No, I agree with you. I think the tournament world is like a very interesting world. I don't know, man. It's a weird world. Just from coming from a cash game background, it's very, yeah. The whole entire thing, all is weird. It's all so weird. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how they do it. I give them credit because I couldn't go and lose all the time, like day in, day out. I mean, I fired 6 bullets in the Borgata tournament, and I was like 6 bullets. I thought like that was like had to be like the most. I mean, it was so many. Like just so much. And like other people are like, now I've got like 11, 12, 13. I'm like, what? In this, it's only 2 days, right? There's only 4 flights. So it's not like usual where they have like 4 or 5 starting days. So you can imagine firing at least a bullet a day, but man, no, that was the most I've ever fired, 6 bullets. Thank God I emptied the clip because I needed it.
Are you so going forward? Like, what's your schedule like? Do you play? Like, I guess you obviously you have the arm and the sling now, so I don't know how much poker you're playing, but
yeah, no, I mean, thank goodness, like poker is obviously not like a contact sport, so I can jump one on. But it is kind of annoying, like sitting there with this thing on my neck and back all the time. But I'm in this for 6 weeks, so yeah, I'll be playing poker while I'm wearing this thing. I just like played this past weekend the World Series like circuit event at the Kennel Club, and played cash like after I busted or whatever. I'll play cash tonight probably, depending on how I feel. Obviously, winning that money gave me some like, a little bit of breathing room, so I don't feel like I have to go press, which I have been doing. So, yeah.
I want to get into that. I'm going to get into that idea because that's a great idea. That's a great thing to talk about. So, just want to say what's up to some people out here. We got a lot of people in the chat, guys on Twitch. Now we've been doing some of these on Twitch and YouTube. The chat sort of the regulars are all on Twitch, and then the YouTubers are a little bit more silent. So I got to show some love to the YouTubers today. What's up, James, Andre S, J Nick Scott? What up, Poppy? Joey, why'd you take down your posters? Are you moving? I'm trying to. Somebody said my background looked like a 17-year-old kid's background, and I agreed with him. So I'm trying to make it. I just put the background of Chicago up there.
Oh,
guitar. Now I'm trying to look more like a 23-year-old.
Yeah, you look so sophisticated. You're only 23?
What'd you say?
23?
Am I 23? Yeah, I'm 23, yeah.
Wow, so young.
How old are you?
Old.
20. Are you 26, 27?
Not quite. No.
Oh, I'm kidding. I'm actually older. I'm 30.
32.
Oh, okay. You're older than me.
Yeah, I'm old.
Oh my gosh. Are you from the South?
Yes, I'm from Louisville.
Okay. You kind of have that cool, the accent, like the down south accent going on.
The twang. It's where I'm tired. When I'm not tired, you don't hear it because I speak really fast, and I'm trying to slow it down to talk. So.
No, I think I can still kind of hear it. Like I heard it straight away. I was like, oh, I didn't know she's from the South. Like it.
Kentucky's not really the South. I don't know. People call Kentucky the South. I don't get that.
Why not? Well, I mean,
that's the Midwest.
Don't they sort of have like a Southern mentality there?
I mean, I guess, but not. I don't know. Not Louisville, like down in like the hollers of like Harlan County and stuff. And yeah.
Do you ever go back to Louisville, or do you spend most of your time in South Florida?
Yeah, most of the time here. I just went back to have the surgery, but I stayed in a hotel. So.
You went back to Louisville to have surgery?
Yeah, my shoulder specialist is there.
Oh, okay. So you don't stay with your parents when you go back? You don't it's not like a family reunion sort of thing? You go crash in the downstairs bedroom at the parents' house?
Yeah, so my mom, I was telling you like what I have the problem like with growing too fast. My mom kind of has a similar thing. She's like, disabled or whatever. And so she smokes. And growing up, she would always smoke outside. But now that she's like fully disabled, she doesn't, which I understand. But I hate cigarette smoke, so I can't stay there. Yeah, and when I stay there, I stay in a camper. We have an RV. So we do live on a farm, but we have a really nice house. But I stay in an RV outside when I stay there.
Interesting. It sounds like kind of fun. It sounds like fun. I mean,
it's like camping. It's like camping, but it's nice because you actually have a toilet and everything. So, yeah. So
you go home and stay in an RV or a hotel, obviously.
Yeah, like this time I had my surgery in Louisville, so my friend's a GM of one of the hotels there, so I'll stay there.
Oh, it's all about who you know, right?
It really is, and what they have, not what I have.
So now you live in Florida. It looks like is this the house you live in right now?
Yeah, it's nice. I would show you around more, but maybe if I lift it up, you can see. I've got a pool back there.
Ooh, pool, yeah.
Yeah, I like it here.
Nice. Who do you have like a poker house? Is there poker mates, or how does it work in there?
No, it's my boyfriend and my dog. Yeah, very straightforward. I'm not a big fan of living together like with poker people. I don't think long term it's very successful for like a female and male dynamic and that kind of stuff. Like the guys, they don't seem to mind it, but I feel like it's really hard because poker is such an independent sport. I think it's impossible because at no point is everyone on the same upswing. A lot of people can be on the same downswing. It's just kind of, you know what I mean. So I don't think it's great for a relationship.
Does your boyfriend play poker too?
No, not anymore. I met him at a poker table, but no.
What happened? I always wonder about this. So when couples meet at the poker table, I always wonder like what was what was that moment? Like, what did they say or what did you say? Like, how did it happen? Like, what was the moment that like it blossomed there?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. We knew each other for a while, I think over a year before we went out. I was dating someone else, a complete psycho. But
Hmm.
he actually asked about me. Like, I don't know. The first time I ever played there, he took a picture of me and asked like one of the cocktail waitresses if she knew who I was. He just assumed it was like some random girl that sat down. Maybe she's from Florida, and this cocktail waitress was from Florida. But anyway, so like later, like after we started dating, probably like a year or so after, I saw on his computer that he had a picture of me from like literally like a side, like I was playing 510 or whatever. He like took a picture of me, and I was like, "What is that from?" And he's like, "I told you that story." I was like, "Yeah, I guess I didn't even think like that's kind of creepy." But it's kind of sweet and also kind of creepy at the same time. But yeah.
All right, guys, I usually advocate strategy, but I just can't advocate you do that. If you play live poker, do not take side profile shots of females that play with you. Please don't do that. I don't want you guys getting arrested.
Right. Yeah.
But that worked, so I don't know. Maybe you should do it, right?
Yeah, I mean, I love his personality and everything. But anyway, so we met at a poker table, and then about a year and a half later, after we met, we went out. So that's that. But yeah, I recommend not finding a date at the poker table because historically it's not been very good for me. So yeah.
Depends on your. I mean, historically, I've met a lot of great women at the poker table. So I mean, I think it could go well. It could go pretty good.
No, because if you're dating, if you're dating a guy who plays poker, and like if you're better than him and it's just bad, and then if you
whoa, that sounds manist or feminist or something. That's the opposite of that. Whoa, let's back up. Wait a second.
It's just bad.
If you're dating a man in poker and you're better than him,
it's not great. It's not great. Their egos can't handle it, I don't think.
So you're alleging that you're better than most men you meet at poker, therefore it's probably not going to work because they can't handle it.
Well, I don't think that's exactly the connection I was trying to make. What I'm saying is that, yeah, actually, when I do play in certain games, I try to be the best, right, at the table. But no, in the mixed game that I play in, I'm definitely not the best player. I'm better than about 4 of the people that I play with. That's all you have to be better than.
No, that makes sense. That makes
sense.
But
I just think like it's kind of hard though. Everyone's like, "Oh, you should meet a guy at the poker table." You should, and I'm like, well, where am I supposed to meet a guy? I don't drink. I don't like party unless I meet a guy like going at church, which I really don't think I'm going to. Poker is really the only, and plus I need to find someone with a very similar lifestyle. It's hard to date someone that has like a regular job. It just doesn't. I tried it once. It didn't work out. So.
Well, I 100% agree with that. It's very hard, especially as a poker player. If you have if you're awake all night or you play overnight or you're emotional about having losing session and you try to talk to your significant other, this is why I always talk to poker players I have on here who are married or dating someone that has a career. I just don't know how they do it because I've tried to have some sort of, I don't know, man. It's just weird because I feel like when you're at a career, your goals, your intentions, like your daily habits are so different than when you're a poker player. Because poker player, you're out, like for me, poker player, I'm always trying to make more money or get better. I feel like a lot of people I meet in careers are sort of like, they never really work at getting better. They're just sort of like maintaining what they do. Right. And where at a poker, I try to get better and better and better all the time. So it's like, if I get into that sort of maintain mode, well, I think my skills are gonna regress. And I don't know, have you found that with your career? Like what's been your experience dating people who have careers?
Yes. So I either find like the guy who, there is a way to do it, at least as like a female, it's a lot easier because I feel like a lot of the guys that I know who have like their own businesses and stuff like that can kind of get better on a better schedule with me. Mm-hmm. I dated a guy who like, was like I don't know, financial advisor or whatever, could just kind of set his own schedule and all that stuff, but it never fails. Like in the beginning, they think it's awesome. Oh, you're so independent. And I think it's great that you like, whatever, you make your own money, blah, blah, blah. And then it always ends with like, so when are you going to like move up here? Because he like lives in a different state. Like, when are you going to move up here and like, we'll just get a house and you just be like a housewife? I'm like, never. I mean, I just don't have that personality type. So like, that's like the one thing that usually happens with me. They always want to like, get married straight away or make me settle down or not play poker anymore. Even though they know that's what I do. In the beginning, they think it's amazing. So independent and all that stuff. The current situation I have now, he works like 60 hours a week, but his schedule is like flexible. I mean, he works like kind of good poker hours, I guess. Mm-hmm. So that makes it a lot easier. The hard part though is this past year, when I moved to Florida, I was planning on just grinding cash and kind of staying here. Then with the 888 sponsorship deal, I've traveled a lot more. And this past year, I've been gone a lot, like a lot. I was gone this summer, the whole time for the series. I was gone 3 weeks in January for Brigada series. Like I'm gone all the time now. So that's not been great.
So how do you think that works out for the relationship then?
It's not optimal. It's not optimal. Yeah, it's not great.
Well, sort of, isn't that more merit to why people sometimes say, why don't you date somebody in poker? Because that way when you take those trips and when you go on these adventures, you sort of have that other person with you who's also in the trenches or doing the same thing that you're doing.
Exactly. That's the upside for sure.
Mm.
Yeah. Or you can date a business guy who can take off and go with you. That's really...
It's definitely an option. So this is this option I've decided on. And I'm sticking with this option for the foreseeable future. I'm just not going to get serious with anybody. And, you know, you sort of have these, like, you have these people and you have like a people in Vegas. You might see when you're in Vegas, you have like your South Florida people, you have your countries over here. Yeah, like, I just don't think like it intersects for real. I don't think, I think the only type of women personally I could date I've thought about this a lot, are models. Not because of how they look, just because they're flex, they can travel, they take photos and shit like that. They're used to that sort of lifestyle. Models, bloggers, YouTubers, Twitchers, poker player girls. But I mean, yeah, you know, let's not get carried away.
You have like a player pool of like maybe 5 to choose from.
Listen, I'm just out. I've ruled that one out. That one's done. Like they're no more actual dating thing. And then I had another. Who's on the list? Japanese people. Because they're sort of like they want to leave. They sometimes want to leave, like the Asian, maybe not Japanese, but like Asian people, because if you meet them in Asia, they want to go travel and see the world and stuff like that. And
my sister-in-law is Japanese, by the way, so that kind of does bode well for
your what?
My sister-in-law is Japanese. My brother met her. He was stationed in Japan.
Oh, see, that's what I mean. That's what I'm talking about. Japanese people, man, they're ready to take off. Or Colombian women, they're obviously ready to leave the country as well too. A lot of poker players date Colombian women and take them around with them. So.
Yeah, and they're good looking too, for the most part.
Yes. And they say poppy, which is obviously my number one quality I look for in a woman.
Oh, wow.
I really don't. Do you ever say the word poppy to anyone?
Never.
Do you ever say puppy? No, like never excited? Why not?
That's not a word that I would ever use. I use a lot of like slang words and country words, but that's not one of them.
Ever17 on Twitch says, Joey, do you think if you're dating a poker player and you're in a downswing and they're in an upswing, there would be resentment? I think if you're a fish, if you're like a not good winning poker player, you might have a resentment at that on that level. But I think it's very weak. It's a weak mental game to like be jealous of your partner if you're in a downswing and they're in an upswing. Like, I don't know. What do you think about that?
It's hard to not. I don't have those feelings. Like if I have a huge losing session or a big winning session, I'm pretty even keel, like across the board. And I think that's what makes me a good poker player. But I've been in that relationship when they're on the massive downswing. And, well, I mean, they were a fish, so I guess that's kind of, you know, sense. But I've definitely been in that relationship, and I'm just like, wow, I can't, like, they act like a child.
Right, exactly. I mean, I think when you become a better poker player over years and years and years, you go through upswings, you go through downswings, you start to realize like you're not. It happens. Like this is what happens when you're a professional poker player, especially when you play cash games. Downswings happen, and I mean, I don't know. Like I go through downswings. I've been through a million downswings up and down. So it's like, I don't know. I guess I'd have to be in that situation to know. So you sound like you were in that situation. So did that affect you? If you were in an upswing and they were in a downswing, did that affect you for the negative, you think, or how did it affect? What did that do to you?
I think so. One of the biggest things I think it's been great over the years is that I do tell people, like, the upside of dating a poker player is that when you're at the poker table, you can learn a lot about someone and how they, like, their personality type and how they act when they lose or win money. And you really can't see that in any other dynamic, but at the poker table, you see it consistently, right? So with this ex-psychopath that I dated.
Whoa, we keep bringing up this ex-psychopath, man.
I'm not trying to bring him up. I'm just saying, like, that's who it was. He acted like a child when he went through downswings, like insane. So yeah, and then I got like super like emotional about it and stuff. So I learned a lot very quickly, and I wouldn't have learned that had it not been for poker, but also wouldn't have met him. So
I think that's a big difference between like a slight winning player and a break-even player and someone who's been winning for a long time or a big winner, is that they deal mentally with so many different facets of the game so much better.
Right.
So you find people like that. Like that's sort of like, especially in the small stakes online world, a lot of people deal with downswings. A lot of people tilt, and that's what happened. They go crazy. Whereas once you start having more success and conquer that and get past that, then when you start playing higher stakes, you start dealing with all those things much, much, much better. And all this stuff becomes very apparent when you actually talk to these people. So if you have a conversation with someone who's like a winning online player, you notice like they're so much different. Like especially guys on the podcast. If I have like I'm guessing like a Ben 86 son and how he deals with downswings, he's going to deal with it much, much, much more GTO or better than someone who might be a tournament player, and you get them talking about downswings. They just talk about it much differently. So it's quite different. It's interesting the contrast in I guess people's approach, and it's sort of like you can immediately tell like where they're at with their poker career and how successful they are at poker by just how they answer some of these questions or how they react to some of these questions or how they deal with it.
Right. I definitely agree with that.
Man. Okay. So I want to follow up on something you said earlier. We were talking about having cushion for live poker. So do you think there are many live poker players that play cash who have this cushion, who sort of like are very, very, very rolled for the stakes that they play?
No.
I don't think so either.
No, not at all. I used to like keep all my money separate, I used to have like separate bankroll money, so but then as like a pro, it's impossible to keep it separate for me. Like I can't, like I'm never gonna go through a downswing and be like, oh, like can't give you my other money. Like, no.
Yeah.
Guess I'll just go to work at Walmart. I mean, I don't know. So yeah, I just keep it all together, and people are like, yeah, but like, how do you know? I'm like, well, how do I know if I'm winning? I don't know. I can still pay my bills, I guess. Like, it's pretty easy, pretty straightforward. I don't have any other source of income, so.
And I wonder if other people do it differently, because like when I think about live poker, that's sort of how I've approached live poker before too, is that my role, like people like, you have money saved away. I'm like, well, I got a lot of money, like it's just for poker. But I mean, I don't know if some people, like if they have this sort of, like, I don't know, man. Maybe
who bought homes or rental properties or like invested in businesses and stuff, things where they can, at least get the money back, especially for like the rentals or purchasing a home, as long as they purchase it like now, not before like 2008. But they have those investments, so like the money is pretty secure, and they can always get it out if they need it. But I think the difference is just, I'm not gonna like ever wake up one day and just go out and like blast all my money off. Mm-hmm. Lifetime in poker, like knock on wood somewhere, I've never lost, like I've never gone through like 4 buy-ins. I mean, I have stop losses, so I don't. You'll never like catch me in a session. Yeah, I do. You'll never catch me like blasting off. It's not gonna happen. I don't have that in my game. I'm kind of a nit, so.
Wait a second. Wait, hold on. Did you say you never lost more than 4 buy-ins in a session?
No, never. I will get up and leave. Like, I think we'll get back to that in a second. I'll get back to that in a second. So.
What? 4 buy-ins? You've never lost more than 4 buy-ins in a session? No,
I honestly could probably say I've never lost more than 3 buy-ins. I have like a 2.5 to 3 stop loss, so I'm never gonna lose more.
I feel like I start down 4 buy-ins every session I play.
Hold on, I'll get to that in a second. I promise I'll explain it. But anyway, so I think for people who can't keep it separate, like who honestly might just go and blast it all off one day, I think those people should 100% keep their money separate. But like, I'm never at risk for that, so I'm not too worried about it. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna wake up one day like, oh shit, I can't pay my bills because I got so stuck in a game and just blasted it all off.
Yeah, I think there's different degrees to where you can. I keep hearing the echo again, but I think there's different degrees to where you can like have that happen. Like I think some people, let's say you're playing 5-10, you have like a 60K roll. Well, then if you go lose, like 40K, you still have enough money to pay your bills, sort of thing like that. That's kind of when I think about this. But you're talking about people who legitimately just fucking lose all their money. Like they have 30K roll, they're playing 5-10, they lose 27K.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen it happen. Like, so I've been playing since 2008 full time. I've seen it happen probably hundreds of times. Like all these people who are like, honestly, much better poker player than I am, much better. And they can't play poker anymore because they've lost all their money. And I'm like, how could you ever risk that? Like, you're better than I am. You should never you should never lose all your money.
So then the question is, are they actually better than you? I would argue they're not better than you, because
their fundamental game is better, but their mental game and their overall roundness as a poker player is not, obviously. That's the other thing that people always say to me, like, oh, you still grind like middle stakes, whatever, mid to high stakes, whatever. I'm like, yeah, but I'm still grinding. I still get to play poker and you don't. Like, I'm sorry if you don't respect my game, but there's obviously something working for me that's not working for you. And, you know, and I'm okay with that. Like, it is a grind. Like, I get it. Like, I'm not playing 100K, you know, buy-in or whatever, but I do get to play poker for a living and haven't had a job, knock on wood, since 2007. So I guess I'm doing something right.
Yeah, I guess so. You know, when I was thinking about what makes a good poker player, and obviously the fundamental parts of one thing, but I really feel like there's 10,
So
15
many
different
aspects.
things.
There's so many aspects.
Right. There's so many aspects. Like, just because someone, like, they're playing you heads up or something, they're better than you, like, doesn't necessarily mean you're a better poker. Because, like you said, there's all these other things that go into it, and there's so many people that
mental state. I mean, relationship wise, like, just everything. Like, and that's what people ask me, like, oh, what's it take to be a professional poker player? I'm like, more than you'd ever imagine. You have to have so much emotional stability, mental stability. You know, there's just no ego, you know, not that big of an ego anyway. Like, they'll keep it in check. I mean, there's so many things you have to do.
Yeah, obviously there's outliers to all these things. There's people who have this massive ego, maybe like a IWCG rider to poke online, and they still can have mad success. But there are a lot of people who that it hinders them. Just because you see these people at the top of the food chain that have these sort of thing, it doesn't necessarily mean you should try to emulate that and put that into your game.
No, definitely not. Yeah. So real quick, back to the like loss of buy-ins or whatever. All right. So yeah, when I first started out playing poker, I didn't even think about that aspect. I'm like, well, I'm in a great game. And it's honestly, and I've had this argument numerous times with people. You're in a great game and you're stuck. You're stuck like your eyeballs or whatever. But the difference is that I don't know about you, but like when I'm super stuck and like just getting like my shit like just kicked in constantly, I am not playing my A game. I might be in the most epic game in the world, but I can't even think fucking straight. Like, I'm just so over it. So yeah, for me, like, it doesn't work. Like, I don't care if it's the best game in the world. I'm not going to be a winning player in that game because now I've like totally lost like confidence in myself. I'm just like so pissed off, so tilted. Like, it's not good for me. So yeah, I will get up from the game and I will only lose. Like, I really do have a stop loss, like 2.5 to 3 buy-ins. Like, guess what? There's going to be a poker game tomorrow and I'll be in a much better mental state, or 2 days from now if I take a break. So that's kind of where I'm coming from. Like, I've seen it so many times, like people, again, much better poker player than I am fundamentally, they'll dust off like 5 or 6 buy-ins. And I'm like, what are you doing? Like, the first 3 buy-ins were like legitimate, you know, like they like got, you know, stuck out on or whatever, or playing PLO, just high variance spots or whatever. Then like the 4th buy-in starts to like a little bit, the 5th buy-in, then the 6th buy-in, it's just like, let's get it in, folks. So I don't really, you know what I'm talking about. Like,
oh, I 100% know what you're talking about. And yeah, you know, this is a real interesting concept actually, because as you've said, you've had this argument many times with people, and some people will say you never leave that fucking game. If you're down 4 or 5 buy-ins, even if you're playing, let's say your A game, you have an A game here. Allegedly, you think you have an A game. This is what you think. So you think you have an A game, and from the outside perspective, that person now is playing their C game, but they think they're still playing their B plus game, sort of thing. So in their mind, you sort of think, oh, it's still plus EV in that spot. But you know what? I always stay in that spot, and you know, I might be able to identify I'm not playing very well, but I always keep playing in that spot, and I feel like more often than not, I end up doing pretty well, which is why I justify to myself staying in that spot. But I feel like most people probably overestimate the times that they've done well in that situation where they've made it back, and they sort of, so like they let's say like out of 100 times they've made it back 20 times, they got stuck or lost a bit more 80 times, and what they'd probably be busted if that happened, but they probably, you know, those 20 times outweigh those 80 times so much in their mind that they keep playing in that spot, and they really end up losing a lot. And you know, over time, I mean, this is over years, so this is a big reason why you don't see people playing poker anymore, is because those things add up. Like, you know, before it was 20 and 40 times back in, you know, 2010, and now it started building up, and now you're on 2+2 charging, you know, 1.1 markup for a tournament, and you sell 75%, you know, and like that, I think that's sort of the transgression, or I don't think I used the wrong word there, but that's sort of what happens with poker players, I feel like, is that.
Right. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I don't care at this point. Like, I've heard, like, it's like nonstop. Like, I hear so much shit talked about me and my game, whatever. I don't.
What are you talking about right now? Wait a sec. So who are these people talking shit about your game? What do you mean?
Constantly. Are you kidding? That's like constant discussion. Like, I'm not exaggerating. Like, once a week, like on average, people like, I hear people talking about like, oh, she's not very good at poker. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm like,
wait, where are they saying this at? I'm confused.
oh, everywhere. Cash games, like, especially a lot of the guys that like I've interacted with over the years, like in poker or whatever, like higher up guys, you know, like in the poker community. Oh yes, I don't care. I think it's kind of funny because if they knew what I actually know about them and like their poker game and all that stuff and who they're backed by and how much money they actually have, then they would, you know, wouldn't be so happy about, like, to say that kind of stuff. But
I think that's the thing you find is that a lot of people that are talking the most shit are usually the people that aren't having that much success themselves, because the people who are having actual success are busy having success or getting better to have success. They're not busy talking shit about Jessica Dawley as she walks by the fucking table. Like they're focusing on the game. They're thinking about how they can get better. They're not talking to their friend Kyle over here like, oh, I play with her, she's fucking terrible. You know, like you don't spend your fucking time wasting your time talking shit about other people and how much bad they are and how much they suck.
You may not, but I would say the majority of the people that I interact with do that. I mean, it's a lot of obviously from jealousy and everything. And
fired up over here now. Okay.
I get that I have a sponsorship deal, and I understand that those are like very few and far between. But I guess what a lot of those guys don't realize is that, like, you know, back in 2008, when I was literally grinding 5 or 6 days a week at the Wynn and Bellagio, like I was jealous of all the girls that were getting sponsorship deals who literally played one tournament and did well, like one tournament, like that. I'm grinding, you know, 40 to 50, 60 hours a week, and I'm like, well, why are they getting a sponsorship deal? They don't even play poker full time. So I get it, I understand, but I also understand that like life's just not fair. If it were fair, like I would be 100% healthy and never had to spend all my money on getting all these surgeries and like I would have had a car accident. Like life is just not fair, you know. I worked to get where I am. I've grinded the smallest stakes possible for years and years and years, and I never sold out. Like good luck, to these guys ever like not taking the deals that I've been offered like by like other guys or whatever. Like they would never, I don't think they would ever be able to like pass up those opportunities, but I would, because I'm never going to sell out. Like I'm never going to be like, oh, here, we'll pay you to like pose like in a bathing suit. Like, sorry, like what does that have to do with poker? Nothing. Okay. So sorry about your luck. Not going to happen. Like I'm never going to be a sellout, but I think it's awesome that I have a sponsorship deal. I'm very fortunate that they picked me, I guess, you know? So I send those people.
888 poker, hashtag 888 poker. Does 888 poker make everyone that's sponsored by 888 poker put a hashtag 888 poker on every fucking tweet? Is that like in the contract?
No, because like you notice like on mine, like I very rarely tweet at them, because like that's the thing. Like they're actually really like pretty cool about it. Even like with the Borgata tournament, I didn't wear a patch or anything like for the tournament, which I would have. I just happened to not have it on me. But I don't know, they're super cool about it. I'm like with 888, like New Jersey site, right? So like 888MJ.
Oh, if you're with 888 Euro, you got to tweet. You got to have hashtag 888 at the end of all your tweets, I think.
I think it's probably good for them to do it, the individual, so that, you know, for negotiations like down the road, probably more than
makes sense. BMC says, Joey, would you pose for a sponsorship? Listen, if anyone out there wants to throw me some money, pose for something in my bathing suit, I'm in, okay? Just one time. I'll do it. That's fine. Listen, it's going to do some good. I get out there with my shirt off, you know, the women in poker, get to see it maybe in a magazine. I can increase my profile in the female live player community. Listen, I'm in if anyone's out there.
You have to increase your profile in the female community. I think it just needs to be more females in the community. So I think that's
well, Jessica Dawley, a segue for yourself there, Poppy. So obviously we had Kate Hall on a podcast, and she said Jessica Dawley's the one that got me into poker, hashtag ambassador, man. So what do you like seek out every woman you see playing live poker? You walk up to them, hey, nice to meet you, Jessica. Nice to meet you, 888 Poker, New Jersey. And what you have like a shtick you go up to every woman you see playing live poker, or what?
Oh, quite the opposite. If you knew me better, you would know that I am not very friendly. No, I don't really like people in general. So
oh my God, not friendly, don't like people. Perfect. Okay, let's keep okay.
No, I don't know. I just think I'm not a big people fan. So yeah. So like in the lifetime of poker, Kate's probably like one of like 3 or 4 girls I've ever like reached out to and like really been impressed with their game, you know. And honestly, like I know what it's like I was saying, like, grinding it out for so many years, and obviously having offers. But the problem is that as a female, everyone's like, it's so easy for you to get like a backer and blah blah blah. Yeah, you're right. It is easy for me to get a backer. But good luck trying to find a backer who doesn't want to sleep with you. Like, that's not so easy.
It's my kind of podcast right here, boys. This is my kind of podcast, guys. This is...
And I'm not down for that, right? Like, I give props to the girls who will do that kind of stuff. because like I can't do it. So I'm happy for those girls, but
props to them for.
Yeah, like, I mean, I wish I could. Like some of the time, like God, it would be like so easy. Like it's so easy, but I just can't sell out. So, but yeah, so that's why I said something to Kate, because I could just tell like she's really intelligent. Like just from playing with her for a few hours, she had a great poker game, very intelligent, super aggressive, and she's playing high stakes. Like you don't find that very often. And I know how difficult it is to be a female in the community and to find like a backer or an in and not have to try to like give something for it, right? So that's why I went up to her and talked to her and said, "Hey, what's up?" Like,
how do you know this is happening? How do you know this?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, how do I know that people sleep with people to get money?
Yeah. How do you know this? You heard it? You've seen this happen or what?
Probably from the Bible. It's been going on forever. Yeah, I've seen it, heard it, been around it, tried to like have many times that people offer that deal for me. Like, never gonna happen.
How does this work? What do guys message you like? I'll put you in the 10K.
No, but like, hey, like you're gonna go out sometime, blah blah blah. Also, stake people, blah, you know, like whatever.
Yeah, I've heard. But oh my god, so now on Twitch, there's a lot of these girls streaming, and these girls don't even know how to play poker, and they're always getting like, Sky offered to stake me. I'm like, oh yeah, it makes sense. You don't know how to fucking play poker. He wants to stake you for tournaments. Doesn't that seem a little weird? No, it's my skill. No, no.
Yeah, I mean, it is kind of unfortunate though, because there are some, females out there who are really good at poker who just don't have the bankroll. And there's the same way as it is with guys. And that's where it is easier as a guy. Like if you're good at poker, your skill will show through and you can get a backer. As a female, if you're good at poker, your skill will show through and you'll still have a bunch of like creeps trying to stake you so they can sleep with you. So that's kind of where I am.
Ivan Zarati on YouTube. Puppy! Masita Ricala Chula Vumos, let's party! Hey, I'm finally not asleep while the cast is going on. What's up, Ivan? Thank you very much for all your cool videos you send me where you just you say new Spanish words I've never heard. Shout out to you for being Mexican. Josh Beanstalk, what's up? Josh, little bastard in the chat, man. He says, being the best poker player equals extracting fun player dollars, period. I've heard that from my nitty friends over the years. What do you think about that idea?
Fun player dollars?
Being the best poker player equals fun player, meaning fishy players. So fun player is a more PC term to call them. So being the good poker player means extracting fun player dollars, period.
Yeah, but I think honestly, like I have made more money off of like some of the better poker players than I have off of fish, because the difference is that the fun players, that the pros that I play with will try to be like multi-level and pick really big bluff spots and stuff like that where they'll overcommit, or like like on the river like 4x it. Where like the fun player, they're too scared to do that, so they will bluff the river, but it'll be like 1x or like half pot, So that's kind of, I exploit better players. I actually do well. Like my biggest wins have been in the toughest lineups historically. So because they try to make moves, and that's where I can pick them off. That's where the live reads come into play. To be fair, like I'm much better at reading people than I am like the mathematics of it all, like for sure. So. Yeah.
I feel like some people who would agree with Josh would be able to counter that point very well. But I mean, I understand. I sort of in the camp with you. I feel like that's because I think I've had a lot of experience playing with mainly regs. So I feel like I do well against regs, but at the same time, I think that probably you're making most of your money playing against the fun players. But
well, do you feel like this though? So I should have stated this as well. That's a caveat. I make the most money in fishy games off of the rigs, because
now that's something that's like a very separate skill sort of thing, because then you're able to adjust that means you're aware of how regs might be treating the fun player and how they might be expanding their ranges and how they might be playing differently, and then you're sort of good at knowing that and taking advantage of that.
Right, and so that's probably my most profitable game. Would be one that's like a good mix, and then second to that would be just like a pretty tough lineup.
Do you think those regulars are the guys who might be like the sort of like if the fish wasn't in the game, the fun player wasn't in the game, they would be the more tight nittier guys who happen to be loosening up a little bit when the fun player's in the game? Or do you think this is actually the guys you might consider the better regulars in the game?
Yeah, the better regulars, because they take these odd lines. They try to ISO the fun player, and by ISO and the fun player, they've overcommitted themselves in spots they normally wouldn't take. So like in those kind of spots, like I'll give an example. Like I'll slow play my like monster hands or whatever in like weird spots. Like I never normally would, but because they're playing so aggro against the fun player that they get stuck kind of like in my little fly trap, you know, and then they've like, oh crap, like I've already, you know, got too much money committed or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like pot odds and all that crap. So that's kind of where I make most of my money. Little sleeper in there.
Yeah, I think what you find like in the online sense when you're playing with your bum hunting, you're playing with a fun player, is that the better regulars are just much better at not like again, they're so good at like you can't really take advantage of them in that spot. But the bad regulars, like the guys who are the bum hunters or the break even guys, you can like those are the guys who really get themselves into that situation online because they just like, you know, they're ISOing so wide and then you can three. But I mean, it's just like it's that was one of the most that was something I felt like I was really good at back before there was any seat scripts or even anything. This was like that was like my strongest ability to make money was just taking advantage of regulars in fun player games and obviously being good at really taking advantage of fun players too. So I sort of see what Josh's argument was, or what his statement was rather, not really the argument, but his statement that being a good player, you make your money off fun players. But like I said, I wish that I agreed with him more so I could maybe sort of better understand that vantage point and be against this side of things. But I'm sort of on the side you're on where I feel like I do well against regulars also in that situation too.
Yeah.
So I need to talk to a more nittier friend of mine who can counter that point because I really want to hear the counter. I feel like there's something smart to be said about that. So Marco Puppy, what up on YouTube? What up, Matt Smith? What up? Get those fun player dollars. Ivan says, Jessica, do you know who Jason Kuhn is? Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know who Sean Lafort is by any chance?
I don't think so.
Oh, well, I can't ask that question, unfortunately. Sean Lafort is one of the podcast favorites, a PLO player online.
Oh.
He's the fittest man in poker, debatably. Him and Jay Kuhn are neck and neck. So we had a fuck, marry, kill up here for you, but you don't know one of them.
Gotcha. I would kill Jason Kuhn if that's the question.
Yo, what?
I'd kill Jason Kuhn if that's the question.
Why is that?
I don't know. It gets on my nerves.
Why does it get on your nerves?
It rolled me really hard in like the summer, and it was just, yeah, it was kind of weird. So he gets on my nerves. I don't know. I feel like he's too into himself.
Oh.
Everyone thinks he's a really nice guy. He might be a really nice guy, but he just, I don't know. He's just annoying to me. I look at his face, I get annoyed.
No. Do you get annoyed when you look at my face?
Not yet, but I don't know.
Well, you hate, okay, so you hate people. You don't talk that. You only talk to 2 or 3 people over time.
Yeah, I'm not, I don't know. Like, I really got jaded, I think, over the years of just being screwed over by people. So, and I'm learning and like learned a lot about poker. That's one thing, like you will learn so quick about someone, how they act with money for sure. So I just learned a lot about that kind of stuff, and I'm just a little bit jaded, I think, now. Salzburg's texting me. Let's see what he has to say.
Uh-oh.
He said, I love you for killing Jason Kuhn. How about that?
Salzburg, I'm still waiting for you to retweet that podcast we did, kid.
Yeah, Salzburg, retweet the podcast. What the fuck?
What the fuck, man? He came on the podcast and he didn't retweet the fucking podcast. Salzburg, retweet the fucking podcast, man. Come on, kid.
TGFY, you're not even going to give me a retweet? I mean, honestly. Yeah, Matt is not very happy because he just lost 2 last longers with me in this Maryland Live tournament. So either one of us are playing, but we're betting on other people.
Because you said, who was the guy in here the other day that hated on everybody? Does she know him? Do you know Jason Moe?
Oh, I do know the name, yeah, but not personally, like not enough to, you know.
So Jason Kuhn's face annoys you? Is that what you said?
Yeah, I just think I don't know, I just feel like he's so into himself. Just
what does that mean exactly? Like you care about how you look, you care about how you act. What does that mean?
He's a little smug. He's a little smug for me. Maybe he's not. Maybe he's a really nice guy. I don't know. I'm super judgmental, so.
He's a real nice guy, man. I love Jason a lot.
Yeah, well, good for you.
I love him, man. I love him like a younger brother who beats people up a lot. So.
Yeah. That's the other thing about me. Yeah, I'm very judgmental. Like, it's not. My therapist says that it's like I can read people very well, right? So it's just really like from my background and like what I did in the military and stuff, like I just don't believe people's bullshit. So when I look at someone and I know what they're up to, I'm sorry, like I'm gonna judge you like that. Like it just happens. So I don't do it intentionally.
What am I up to? Go ahead. You can give it to me. Give it to me. Like, it's live and it's fine. I'm not going to take it out. If it's bad, it's okay. What am I up to? You can give it to me.
I don't know. It's not a real interaction. I'd have to have like a real interaction with you. Like when I first met you, like I felt like you totally like blew me off. You're like, I don't know who she is. Like it's not worth my time.
Oh my, that's not true. Come on. Are you kidding
100%,
me?
100% what happened at the charity event. You're like, I've never heard of you. I'm like, I've never heard of you either. So what does that mean? I don't know.
No, I didn't. Oh my, no. Come on.
100%.
Man.
But no, I think so. That's probably like one of my biggest pitfalls is just being super judgmental.
I didn't know. I was like, hey, like, what's your name? Like, I didn't know. I didn't know. Sure.
100%. You're like, I've never heard of you before. Like, should I know who you are? That's what you said.
No, I did not say, should I know who you are? Come on.
Should I know you or should I know who you are? Yes, you did. 100%.
No, I mean, I know who you are from my boy Steve McLaughlin, man. He's talked about me before. Man.
But anyway, yeah. So that's one of my biggest pitfalls.
Matt Smith says, "Oh my God, she looks like a Iseldrun. Kind of like an Iseldrun. You look like a
what?
You look like a Swedish person."
Oh yeah, I've heard that before. It's a Native American.
Hmm.
Yeah, the high cheekbones or something. So.
I didn't even. How the fuck did they even notice that? That's a pretty sick spot, Matt. It's a pretty sick spot. So wait, so judgmental meaning that when so
I size someone up very quickly, and I'll decide like instantly if like I'll be friendly with them or I'm not gonna like them at all. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how do some people do it? Some people don't do that, or what do they don't decide right away? They give them a chance to get to know them or something?
Yeah, of course. Oh, he said, tell him I didn't, what, somebody say something bullshit? Awesome.
This isn't about me.
I didn't retweet the podcast because too many people didn't realize how much of a troll from me. So I felt like Andy Kaufman.
Oh yeah, I know what you mean. No, I mean, you seem like he was trolling the entire time. I thought that was the joy of it for people. The people that mentioned to me that they enjoyed it said that they liked his trolling the entire time.
Oh, Salzburg or
Salzburg, yeah.
Yeah, he is a troll. I told him.
BMC said, "Oh my God, Joe is that girl at the party who says, 'What do you drive?'" That's not true. Come on, man.
What?
I try. The thing is, so I tried not to be that way. That's why when you say that, it hurts my feelings, man. I mean, it doesn't hurt my feelings, but like, I can understand what you mean by that because I think I said like I asked you like what your name was or who you were because I wasn't sure. So right. I can understand that though, but it's something to know. That's something to note down. I'm sure I probably come off that way sometimes. I can understand that though.
Yeah, because I was like, well, I don't know who you are, so what is that? I don't like.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
I thought you were cool, man. I was like, oh, who's this cute blonde woman here that plays poker? Like, I'm trying to know who she is. What's your name? I think that might have been what it was. I think it was like oh, what's your name? Like, who are you?
Yeah. Don't try to spin it around. Okay?
No, it was. I'm pretty sure it was. I mean, come on. How often are you at charity events? You just see attractive blonde girls walking around. Like, it's not like, I mean, come on.
Pretty attractive. I'm working on it. All right.
Come on, man. You don't see that everywhere.
Okay. Yeah, so needless to say, I have a ton of acquaintances in poker, but I really like only a few people. Very few. Minimal.
Who are the people you like in poker?
Yeah, I don't know. A couple people. Not like just like local people. Like Salzburg and I get along very well because we like hate everyone. We talk shit about everyone all the time. It's awesome. I love it. Yeah. So just like local people you probably wouldn't know. But yeah, like is that it? It's just hard. Like it's hard to like people in poker because either they're not here very long, or they have bad reputations, or they like stole money, or it's just like there's so many crap people. There is a lot of good people as well, but usually those good people have a whole life outside of poker, so you don't really hang out with them too much.
Yeah, I don't really meet these bad people. The people I sort of know from poker online are all really good people. Like I don't know. I guess I don't really have these interactions with these.
You're not in the interaction of like selling action or being around people who like swap percentages and then never pay up, stuff like that. Or like, hey, I left my money back at home. Can you like spot me for a buy-in at the cash game? Then you never see the person. Like literally, I saw this person 6 days a week for 2 years, 6 days a week, loan them money, never saw them again. Never. They never even showed up in the casino again. It's so strange.
What?
So I definitely have a don't borrow, don't loan policy. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, I know certain people I might borrow the money for sure, but I'm not really. I expect that if I don't see it again, like it's fine. Like I openly accept that I might not see it again. So,
are you more likely to get $20 back or $2,000 back?
Well, I think that thing people say is you're a little more likely to get $2,000 back.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, I guess that's sort of thing when you deal with a lot of the live poker players or live cash game players or live tournament players, you end up seeing a lot of things like that happen. So I can understand how it sort of.
Yeah, it just makes you jaded. Like, I'm just like, why are these people such shit people? Like, you swap 20% with someone, like, pay them the 20%. Or people who over swap or oversell. It's so disheartening, I guess. Like, I could never do something like that, so it's hard for me to like comprehend it. But I don't know. I'm devastated when I hear that from people. Like, they had someone, like a piece of someone's main event, and then they never get paid. Like, I don't know. Sad.
Wow.
Yeah.
When did that? Who did that happen with?
Happened this summer. I'm not gonna say the name, but it happened this summer. It's all over Twitter.
Oh.
Yeah.
I think I read about this, but I don't really know the tournament player, so I'm not sure exactly who it was with.
Yeah, it wasn't like the person who sold the action wasn't that well known, but the people who bought the action were very well known. So then that's the other thing too. Like, if when you sell action or get like swap with someone who's very well known in the poker community, like, do you really think that nothing's going to be said? Like, you'll get, like, your reputation will be ruined and you'll never be able to sell action from then forward. So it's not really a great move. But people get stuck in spots, they have other problems as well, addiction and otherwise. So.
Mm-hmm.
So what else? What else do you have for me?
No, we got all kind of. I mean, I haven't even looked at the thing yet. I don't know. I wrote a side of things down. I haven't looked at it yet. We started the conversation out with it.
I'm a talker. Sorry. Yeah.
We got right. No, that's what the point is. The guest is Jessica Dawley. It's not. That's what the point. The point is for you to talk. We get to know you.
We have to. Let's do a check and see how Kate's doing, because that's obviously we got to see how that's going.
Kate Hall.
Yeah. Please say she's going.
Are you and Kate Hall really good friends? You guys seem kind of similar.
I have a piece of her as well.
Oh. Okay.
Oh wait, she's still in.
Shout out to Kate Hall, man.
Yeah. Okay. I think there's 9 left. So sick. So happy for her.
Which tournament is that she's playing right now?
WPT Maine at Maryland.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's a huge one, right?
Yeah. First place. It's actually a little bit smaller than I would have hoped, but first place is 250, so we'll take it.
How good is Kate Hall, man? She just hops into tournaments very recently, and now she's just
just texted, like, we had just texted about like she was getting a little bit disheartened or whatever, and she said it was really fun. Like, she just final tabled a different tournament at Maryland like 2 days before that or whatever, and she just went really deep in the Borgata Main right like a day before then. And so she was texting me and saying like, oh, it's like she final tabled that whatever, and she's like, yeah, it was really fun even though it was very little money. And I said, yeah, definitely keep it going, because I had final tabled a charity event down here like in August, and it felt so awesome. Even though it was a charity event, it just like felt amazing just to like final table something. And I said, yeah, I was like, now it's your turn to like go back to back of like these like small final tables, and she's doing it now. 6 of 8. Oh, good. Matt said 6 of 8, so it's awesome.
That's awesome, man. Shout out to Kate Hall.
Yeah. No, she's great though. We're similar in only a couple ways. We're like polar opposites. She's way more intelligent than I am, like not even on the same planet probably. And we are like, I'm like very conservative and like in certain ways, and she's not in those ways, which is great. That's like what makes it kind of fun to have like a friend that's totally different than I am.
Do you think you seem like really, really smart when it comes to poker and understanding like how poker works and the mental side of things?
Yeah, she's just like existential. Like she just, you know what I mean? Like stuff that I can never comprehend. Like, So stuff outside of poker then? Oh yeah. I mean, she's great at poker, but I'm just saying like she's literally like just very intelligent on another level. Yeah. I understand what you mean by that then, yeah. I'm very like well-rounded and jack of all trades, kind of street smarts, that kind of stuff. That's like my strong suit, I think. Yeah. It is like, I don't know. I grew up like on, I grew up on a farm and stuff, and so like I had to kind of know how to make like a small amount of money work and stuff like that. So it kind of made me appreciate things more and especially handle poker, definitely, because I know what it's like to not have that much money. So yeah. I sort of like not having much money. That like I feel like I'm the most hungriest when I don't have much. Like I don't have much. Like when you start getting something, then you sort of like fall back and you stop. The hunger stops being there. And even though you understand what it's like not to have something, you still like you're not in there, so you don't necessarily. You're not like as motivated currently in the moment. Yeah, I agree with that. But man, like having this like score or whatever, it's so nice. Just laying in bed, like, oh, I can pay bills, click, click, click. Like I don't know. It just is such a grind not having like a big nest egg. I used to make a lot more money before I started playing poker. One of the few people I think that actually left, a job making, a lot more money than I do now. But that's okay because I made a lot of money, but I was always working in the middle of nowhere. My family is in the oil and gas business now. And so we always worked like in Eastern Kentucky, West Virginia, stuff like that, like absolute middle of nowhere. So you kind of have to trade it off. Like, yes, I made a lot of money, but I wasn't that happy. I was always in BFE. And now I make less money, but I can travel and you don't have to answer to anyone.
Yeah, so it's sort of like you're your own boss. You get to live in Florida. You get to go to all these trips. You get to wake up whenever you want in the morning and not have to worry about things. Like that's sort of like maybe that's like 300K right there, sort of thing. Like how much, what would you really trade? Like what kind of job would you feel like you'd have to trade where you would work the job?
Definitely, yeah.
So how much money would it take though for you to be like, okay, I'm gonna go work that same job in that same place? Is there an amount of money that it would take?
It depends. If I did the oil and gas business, that's a little bit easier because you don't really have an actual like boss. You're still out on your own a lot. You're an independent contractor. So that wouldn't take that much, If I get to like probably four, between 3 and 4, I would do that. Yeah. But it is like lonely. You'd have to do it with someone because I did it on my own for a long time and you're in a hotel, like you were by yourself always. Like my parents, they're together. They would go do it together. My sister and her boyfriend, my husband, they would work together. And I would just always be by myself. And I don't think I was going to meet Mr. Right when I'm in the middle of like cornfield. Like that could happen probably.
You'll meet somebody, but it probably won't be Mr. Right in that scenario.
You're on his tractor, but
you're going to take whatever you can get in that situation.
Yeah, exactly.
That's probably why a lot of people in the suburbs sort of like end up married to someone that they're not completely happy with because like they feel like they don't have any other options. Like, oh, I'm just okay. He's cool, like, or she's cool, and then that's it.
Where I grew up, like, I don't know, 90+% of every single person I know married someone else that I knew. Like high school, we all got married to someone else in our high school or like the next high school over. I was like, I'm so like they think like I'm crazy because they all have kids and they're married at least once, maybe it's on their second marriage, and I've never been married and I don't have any kids. So they think it's like crazy for me. I'm 32. They're like, what are you doing?
Do you think that they think it's crazy, but at the same time, they're like, God, I fucking wish I would have taken that route?
Some of the time, yes. And I think sometimes, like, one of my girlfriends, like, she definitely would wish for me that I had, like, a family already. But she doesn't understand, like, from my perspective, like, I can always have a family. There's so many ways to have a family now. So, but for her, she, like, thinks it's crazy. Like, when I tell her, like, what I'm doing and stuff like that, she's like, oh, my God. It's like, I can't handle it.
Well, it's pretty hard to comprehend. I mean, you think about it, like when I talk to my family or talk to people I know from around the area where I've grown up, like what can they like? What are you gonna be like? Yeah, so I'm going to New Jersey. I'm just gonna stay in a hotel for 4 days. Gonna go play poker. I might lose like $15,000 in this tournament. I'm gonna go back down to Florida. I'm gonna sit in bed for 3 or 4 days. I might go to the casino, play poker for. They're like, what are you saying? Like it's sort of hard to even understand exactly what that means and like how your life changes because if you've never been in the situation where you're sort of your own boss like that, how would you can't understand maybe the joy that might then bring your life sort of thing.
Right. Like my sister and I are polar opposites. She was also in the oil and gas business and she literally would rather work a job making like at least like maybe 30 to 40% as much if it's guaranteed like 9 to 5 job. Whereas the oil and gas business, we work like between 30 and 40 hours a week at most. But yeah, sometimes like you have a contract that's only 6 months and your next contract might not start for a few months. She couldn't handle the swing. Even though the swing was like, she made way more in 6 months than she would make in a year, like at a regular job. Mm-hmm. So our personality types are just different. Some people need that stability. They don't care if it's less money. They just need a paycheck every 2 weeks. So.
You have a new note there? What was the new note?
No, it's people texting me about, that's just someone asking me how I was feeling.
Great. How are you feeling, Jessica?
I'm feeling great. I'm feeling fantastic. I'm feeling really happy, actually. I haven't been happy in a long time, so I feel pretty good.
Oh, is that because of poker, life, everything?
Yeah, a lot of things. I feel like I made more, like I tell people, like they're like, oh, it's so awesome you have a sponsorship deal. And it is. I love it. But at the same time, with that sponsorship deal becomes like you get responsibilities where you have to travel. Like I have to go to New Jersey every other month and host events and play online and stuff. Like Vegas, play a lot more tournaments, which is awesome. But the problem is as a cash player, like I'm losing so like my hourly has gone down like significantly. Mm-hmm. And so yeah, like, I used to make more money before actually. But that's okay because eventually the money will come back. So
You don't play, do you not spend much time playing cash games in these spots you go to?
No, because like for instance, I fired, like I said, 6 shells at Borgata. Well, like I played, like the tournament started on one day at 11, the other day at 10. I played from 10 till like at least midnight or 2 on every single day. Like there's no time for cash in between that. And I'm not a big fan of playing tournaments and then switching to cash games in the same day.
So what do you think about just maybe, I guess, like sort of stepping outside? So like you have your hourly playing cash games, but you sort of use these tournaments, like instead of thinking about, oh, this is affecting my hourly for this or this, maybe like not, maybe just like separating it in a way, not tying it into your overall poker hourly, but look at it as, it's good for business. It's good for my sponsorship deal. It's good if I want to keep growing that sponsorship deal. It's good for me to get my face out there because only people give a fuck about tournaments. They don't give a fuck about if you're a winning 5-10 Nolan player in Florida. They don't give a fuck.
I know, it's crazy.
Did you make the final table of the tournament? Yes.
Okay.
You're good. You're a good player. You play 5-10 for the last 7 years. You're shit. Like fuck you. You're nothing.
So it's so true.
So you can sort of look at it like that from that standpoint. We're like, all right, like, maybe my hourly, like, is shit right now. I'm not making shit. Like, I don't enjoy this. I'm not happy. I'm not making money. But at the same time, maybe long term, this is actually a really good decision for me. And if I can run good, then, then it sort of grows my platform more and more. So then my opportunity to make more money outside of this grows and grows and grows. And then this sort of makes up for the hourly in the long run, potentially.
I've definitely come around to that. Like after this summer, like the series, I played like 21 events or something. And I did fine. I mean, I had like pretty much a break-even summer for myself, which is great. But I mean, relatively speaking. But I like put in like hardly any cash game hours at all. Like I put in like maybe 3 sessions in 7 weeks. Because you know how it is, like the tournament's like, the 12-hour days. And I was fortunate enough to go deep in each one, but not deep, not quite deep enough. But so yeah, after the summer, after the series, I was kind of like, ugh. Like I should have been up like historically speaking, I should have been up maybe 20,000 like in just like the middle games that I've been playing or whatever, like in that amount of time. Unfortunately, like I wasn't, and I was kind of dejected by it. And then knowing that I'm going like straight from that to the Hard Rock series, and then straight from the Hard Rock series to Borgata, I'm just like, where am I going to play cash? Like when am I going to get to play cash again? But that score that I had at Borgata kind of wiped all of it away. So
now you have a really good understanding of why these other people in the tournament world might sort of do the things that they do. They might take the money from these spots, or they might not pay out this swap, is because it sounds like it's a pretty big struggle to be a tournament player and be going through if you're not making money, you can't make money at cash games. So you don't have that confidence in the back of your mind, like, oh, I'll go fall back and play cash games. Say like you have no option but to make money at tournaments. It's right. Like, well, what do you do? Like, how do you make money in that spot?
Well, then you just, instead of stealing from people, like just be honest with people. Like, or I mean, just don't play poker then. Like if you can only play poker and by stealing from people, then probably should not be doing it, And it's so funny to me. There's so many people out there that like call themselves like professional poker players. And I'm like, okay, there's only way, like, I feel like there's only one way you can call yourself a professional poker player is if you have no other source of income, or you have another source of income, but you make like the majority of your money from poker, and poker is your full-time job. Like that's a professional poker player. Like someone who has all their money from other companies or businesses or anything else that they've ever done. Sorry. Okay. Then like, and they play poker like on the side and they go, I'm a professional poker player. I'm like, no, you are not. You have a full-time job, or you've made millions of dollars somewhere else. Like you play poker for fun, which would bode well better for them. Like they think by calling themselves a pro, like it sounds cool, or like they'll get respect. I'm like, who will respect you more if you just said that you play for fun because you're terrible at poker? So like, I mean,
you tell them that. This is what you tell. This is like, I want to ask. Can I please see a conversation you have with someone like this?
I mean, I don't say you're terrible, but I'm like, listen, like people, like you're not very good, so like you should just say like you play like recreationally instead of telling people you're a pro poker player. But they think it sounds cool. So, yeah, but like for tournament players, like, I'm not saying that there aren't some few tournament players out there that make a great living playing tournaments. I am not one of them, and I know most of the people I know are not those people either. Like, hello. Like playing poker in itself is like a tough way to make an easy living, as you've heard this expression many times. Playing tournament poker has to be the toughest because you can go forever without having a big score. Like it doesn't matter if you do everything right. There's so much variance in that. Like in a cash game, I feel like the variance is so much lower. than in
Sure.
in a tournament, because you also can't table change in a tournament. You get like you might get a bad table draw. Good luck. Like, so I feel for them. I couldn't do it. No way.
Wow.
No way.
Shout out to everybody on Twitch that all stream tournaments. Shout out to all you guys trying to make a living out there on Twitch.
Yeah, grinding it out. Ugh. The overhead for travel alone, like, good night. It's expensive.
Ivan says, Jessica, do you think it's possible to be a full-time professional tourney player? It seems with all the overhead. Whoa, Jesus, it read your mind. It seems with all the overhead and the likelihood to win them is extremely hard. Only a handful. Wait, just answered your fucking question. Never mind. Literally just answered the question, Ivan. You read your mind, man. Paulo Ricardo on YouTube says, I just got here and I have to say, not a BG, but still a beautiful guest. And then he said, what's up, puppy? And then Seventh Lion said, I'm very ashamed to ask this, but can't find it anywhere. What does poppy mean? So poppy is a term of endearment. Poppy means friend. Poppy means lover. Poppy means compadre. Poppy means father. Poppy means whatever you want poppy to mean.
Whatever it means to you.
Whatever it means to you, pretty much. Matt Smith says, what is the biggest downswing Jessica has had playing live Nolan McCash?
Good question. I've had two like historically massive downswings. One was about 4 months of really bad live poker. Like in the 4 months, I had a few winning sessions, but that's like been my longest where I wasn't winning. And everyone's like, "Oh, like I've never had a losing month." I'm like, "Congratulations." Those are also the people who won't leave like a game until they end up like winning on the game, even though it's not a profitable game long term. Yeah, so probably 4 months, and massive like amount of money. Not too bad, maybe like 40,000. So also, those two big downswings that I took though were playing like a 2-5 game and 5-10, so it wasn't going to be that like hopefully wouldn't have been that big, like much bigger. If I took a big downswing right now, it would be. I honestly, I was on a big downswing in cash coming into this tournament. So, but like a big downswing is not. It's all relative. It's like a big downswing for me, but it was like 12K or something, so not really that big. 12K in the game I play in, like I buy in for depending on the game, 2.5 to 5,000 or 2.5 to 4,500. So it's really like 3 buy-ins and not really that bad. I try to limit my downswings though. Like I don't know if you agree with this or if you do this, but I think it's the best way to do it. It's worked well for me. If I am playing 5-10 or 10.25 and I'm going through a big downswing, I just step down in stakes. I literally will go through a downswing and I'll step down to like 2-5 until I go through my downswing. Like I just can't handle it. Like mentally, I got to like refocus. I've been fortunate where I haven't had to do that, but I did that back in like 2009, 2010 time frame. For sure.
I think I've done that probably about 100 times. Whenever I go through a downswing, I always drop back down a stake, regain. Even if you win like 3 or 4 buy-ins, you just regain your confidence. You get that run bet out of your mind. So you're in that standpoint. You're in a point in a session where you're like, you get aces, and the flop comes like Jack 10 set 6, and you're like, oh fuck, how am I losing all my money here? You know,
this guy's got middle set of 10s for sure. Like.
Right. So when you start getting to that point, you know, you got to regain your confidence. So you can obviously work through that at your stakes, but it's much easier to work through that and get that run bet and regain that confidence. But dropping down a stake, even if you have to drop down 2 stakes, 1, the game's easier. You're going to win. You're going to win more. 2, you're not going to lose as much if you are running bad. If you're playing when
you start winning again, and so
Mhm.
you use like poker journal or like write it down. Like every time you start seeing the green again, it just makes you feel like confident. And I don't know, like a lot of my friends, they won't do it. They're like, yeah, but I'm profitable at this game. I'm like, yes, I understand you are good enough to beat this game. However, mentally right now, you are not playing your A game, B game. You're like on your D game. And I've just seen so many people dust it off and lose their bankroll because they're going for downswing and would not sit down stakes because their ego got in the way. So I'm like Kanish or whatever, you know. I'm like still grinding it out, you know, 15 years later. It's okay. I'm still playing poker, so.
So what's the goals for you right now? What do you have poker goals? Do you have something in mind that you'd like to continue, just sustain, be able to play poker for a living?
No. I honestly think my threshold, like I kept telling people, like if I'm 35 and like pregnant at a poker table, like I'll probably just commit suicide. So
no shots at anyone that's playing poker and pregnant at the poker table and is 35. No shots at them.
No, I have a girlfriend that's pregnant and playing right now. Like for me, like that also, but it's the same thing. Is like they haven't been playing poker this whole time. They just started playing. So for them, it's not that big of a deal. They've only been playing a couple of years. I've been playing for such a long time. And it's like any career. Like I wouldn't expect to be in corporate America and be grinding out in the same job that I was in. Like I need to step forward, you know? So this year I am planning on working on getting a talk show, even like through Twitch or whatever. But my goal is like to one day have my own like actual talk show on air, on syndication, on TV. So that's my goal.
Tell me more about this talk show. Wait a sec. I sort of have a talk show here. Tell me more about this talk show.
I'm working toward that. Okay, hold on. The other thing is like, so in order to get your face in front of the camera and get to that point, if you're ever lucky enough to have that opportunity, you have to work on a lot of other things, and you have to get notoriety and blah, blah, blah. So I'm going to try to go on Dancing with the Stars. It's going to be my, I'm working to go on that. So we'll see. I don't know how it's going to work out with all the medical stuff, but I think it'd be kind of fun.
What are the steps you can take to get on Dancing with the Stars? Where do you go from here?
Yeah, you go to the gym and you get fit.
That's it? What else?
No, I mean, there's a lot of stuff you'd have to do. It's somewhat far-fetched, but I don't know. I mean, they haven't had a female poker player. They haven't had a poker player on there yet. Then Amazing Race had those 2 girls on, and Big Brother had Vanessa, and there's been a lot of poker players on Survivor. So Dancing with the Stars, like, next up, like, it's me, let's go. So you have to do like all kinds of stuff, like agent, all that crap. But I'm gonna get there.
I don't know. Vanessa Big Time Russo might be on Dancing with the Stars now with her performance on Big Brother.
Maybe. I don't know if she'd want to do that or not, but
yeah.
Hopefully it'll be me, not her.
Do you know how to dance?
I can dance, but they teach you.
True.
They teach you how to dance.
Do you want to have a dance off?
Oh yeah, I'll pwn you.
You'll pwn me at a dance off. You'll pwn me at a dance off. Really?
I've got good moves. Yeah. Did you not see me dancing? I was dancing at the final table. I was showing my little tap, jazz, and ballet at the live stream of the Borgata.
Wait a second. What's your go? Oh, let me back the chair up a little bit here. Hold on a second. Wait, what's your go-to move here? So if you're posted up, you're standing there, you're with a couple of friends, you start moving a little bit. What's your move? Everyone's got a move.
I might go straight for like the lawnmower, or the sprinkler.
So wait, are you like a funny dancer? You like everyone looks at you like, oh, look at that move. Look at the move she's doing.
Yeah. But no, I can dance. I can dance. I just I'm white, so it's kind of I don't have the best dance moves. My brother is like amazing dancer. He is hilarious. He has dance offs all, like when we were in the military together. Like he had dance offs all the time. So all the time it was awesome. But yeah, I don't know. I really enjoy it. I think it's a lot of fun. Nothing wrong with it.
I love dancing as well. What kind of music do you want to dance to?
Rap. I like rap.
You want to dance to rap? So you shake the ass.
Well, what little I have as being white, not big, but
I mean, listen, some white girls I was just thinking about this the other day. I was at the gym. There's these girls that go to the gym. They do squats every day. Every day. They're there 7 days a week doing squats, and they got the fattest. They got the actually crazy. I don't even know how. I'm like, how does this is possible? And they're all excited about this, man.
So stoked.
But when you touch the butts, they're like rock hard too, and they disprove the theory. Basically, it's what I'm saying.
Oh yeah, well, one day if my hair level is ever high enough, maybe I'll do that. But I don't think it ever will be.
I'm getting excited about this.
About the dance off.
Really, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I like to have fun. I like to dance and stuff. Yeah. But anyway, so that's my next goal. I'm talking with someone right now, with a company right now, about doing a sponsorship deal with them. And yeah, hoping to have 888 this year and one other company. And KO Watches, which you see me like tweet out a lot, this watch company, which is awesome. So that's what I'm doing right now. And working on the talk show and getting on Dancing with the Stars.
So can we have a dance off right now that we're talking about dancing?
No, I mean, I can't move. Hello. Look at this thing. You see, like, it's pretty cumbersome.
Hold on a second. I got an idea. Hold on.
I have one arm behind your back, and let's.
I got an idea. Hold on a second. All right, hold on a minute here. Okay, let's get. All right, hold on. Let me just put it on you real quick. Hold on a second.
What? I guess you have to have that living in Chicago.
This is for music festivals, technically. I'm trying to understand how this sling works. I'm trying to put my arm in a sling.
Okay, but like you're missing. You have to well, first of all, it's only been a week and a half out of surgery, so Okay, try dancing with that. Go.
I can still look at them, still moving, still shaking, still moving back and forth. I don't understand. Hold on, do I need a belt too? Wait, no, we're gonna get the dance off on.
I mean, I wasn't prepared for a dance off today, but I can't really move. Like, you have to like give me like a week or two until my shoulders healed up enough.
Okay, I'm gonna put this belt on. I just want to make sure that we've got the same advantage here.
Or like a WWF, like
this
you
is
won
a championship belt. This is actually for
yes.
I believe.
You work out with that thing on?
No.
I was gonna say, no wonder you're single. What? Kidding.
Bang bang. Okay, so are you ready?
Yeah, go. I want to watch you.
You gotta stand up for. I just.
I'm not dancing this thing. I'm too injured still. Like my shoulder is not healed enough to dance. I literally can step side to side. Like
I just put on this. I put on my cast.
Well, let's see you dance. Let's see it. Let's see how easy it is to move in that thing. Do you see
it's really, look how you can't see the footwork in here.
My arm is like stuck out like 90 degrees to my side. Do you see this? I'm like,
yeah, that's a little bit harder than my cast.
It's a little bit more cumbersome, I must say. Like, I don't turn down dancing much, but I think I may have to. But I'll take a rain check for sure, and I will come back on and do a dance off with you.
My trainer's been teaching me this new thing where you stick your ass out like this and go back onto your heels, and I guess you could shake your ass in theory that way. You know?
What are you doing that for? To do like straight leg deadlifts or something?
I can't. It's some type of I don't fucking know. You hold something over your head. I don't know what the hell he has me doing.
I think he's probably just into you.
What?
What?
He probably wants to look at my ass, you said?
He's probably just into you.
He certainly might be.
Yeah.
Oh my God. There's some creepy people on Twitch, man. There's some really creepy people on Twitch.
I probably dated a couple of them. Losers.
I'm just trying to match up here with the sling.
It looks really good.
Thank you. I might wear it around like this.
You should. You'd probably get empathy, or people think you're nuts because you have like a fur wrapped around yourself.
Yeah, I guess a little bit of both, probably. Hold on a second. All right, Ivan, let's get Chris Rich. What's up, puppy? Let me take off my sling. You take off your fake sling too.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Bessie says, "I wish I have a chance." Oh, I have a chance with Jessica if she has already dated Twitch losers.
Well, to be fair, I dated losers before they became on Twitch, so they were losers beforehand. Yeah. I try to like not date losers, but I have like a problem with it. I don't know.
Are they losers in real time or are they losers in retrospect?
A couple of them are losers in real time.
Were you aware in real time that you were dating a loser? You're like, fuck, what am I doing right now?
Yes, for sure. They definitely totally slow played me.
They gave you they misrepresented themselves to you.
Definitely. Yeah. Like a nice guy, intelligent, hard worker. Meanwhile, lazy, pill popping, ass wipe. It happens. Okay. No more.
Well, now you're wifed up, it sounds like.
Yeah. I mean, I have a boyfriend. I don't know if I'll ever get married. I'm not sure about that. Never know. Yeah. Let's move on. Yeah. What else?
Ivan says, "Who's your biggest influence in your poker career? Poker player or non-poker player?" It's actually one of my questions, Ivan. Do you have my sheet here? I don't understand.
Yeah. Actually, we could see your entire room. My biggest influence would be my family, honestly. Like, most of them are very supportive. It's so nice, like, you know, to call my dad, like, after a tournament. He's just, like, always, like, when I talk to him, he's always like, "Now remember, Jess, it's a marathon, not a sprint." Because he's always afraid to punt off my chips or something. And I really appreciate it because my parents are both very hardworking and kind of taught me that growing up, kind of kept me grounded, I guess. And it's just really nice to have that. I know a lot of my friends don't have that same support. And in the beginning, they obviously thought that I was going to have a different path, like maybe going to the FBI or something to that effect. And to go from what I did to, like, I'm just going to be playing poker now. They definitely, in the beginning, thought it was kind of a little bit of a waste of my talent. But now they've kind of come around to it and are very proud of me. So,
do you think it was a waste of your talent?
Sometimes I do, yes. I felt like I was going to go out and conquer the world and have an impact on the world, and playing poker does not allow me to have the impact that I wanted. Monetarily, it has afforded me the opportunity to have an impact on a few people's lives. But no, I'd rather have done something different. in certain areas, like started a school or charity or something like that. And you can still do both of those.
Yeah. So don't you think you can still have an impact on the world somehow in a lot of ways?
I'm going to have an impact. Yes, it's going to happen. Poker is going to be my springboard for me to have that impact. So
that's how it should be in theory. I mean, that's sort of why a lot of people play poker, to put themselves in a position to do something else that they want to do, whether it is have an impact on people, help people, make a difference in the world, or make a difference in somebody's world.
Right. I mean, honestly, like, I know a lot of people have had it way worse than me, like growing up and stuff. And in the article they printed about me, they said like my brothers were forced to sleep in a closet. Okay, so the real story is that we grew up, like, we did not have very much money growing up. Like, yeah, I call us poor, but relatively speaking, like, yeah, just not very well off. That's what I usually say. We weren't very well off. We lived inside of a house. Like, there was, I think, like 3 bedrooms and 1 bath, and there were 6 of us living in the house. My brother slept in the same room. My sister and I slept in the same room with my mom and dad. But my brothers, their room is so tiny that my grandpa built bunk beds in the closet for them so that they could move around, you know, in the room. So, like, in the article they wrote that my brothers were forced to sleep in a closet. They didn't, like, sleep, like, on the ground, like, curled up on a ball. They had a bed. It was just in a closet. Anyway, when we moved to Indiana, the house that we lived in Louisville fit inside the balcony of the house we moved to in Indiana, if that puts it in perspective of how little it was. And yeah, I never had much of anything like hand-me-down clothes and all that stuff, but I always had food and shelter, and we had a nice looking home in Indiana. But it honestly, like, it's amazing to go from that lifestyle to like never having a car that was in the same decade of like the year, like to have hand-me-downs, to never get to go shopping. Like, we get to go shopping once a year for school clothes, and thank God I thought that was normal, because I really thought that people only went shopping once a year. I didn't know you could go shopping like every day if you wanted to or had the money. But because of all that stuff, like, it's made me appreciate every opportunity and experience that I've had. I may have to fly, like, I've flown on private jets. Like, I never thought I'd even like get to fly like on a plane. Like, you know, it's just like so weird to have like this lifestyle that I have now. So I'm super grateful. It's awesome.
Wow. How did you end up? How did that's life? What happened? Well, how did you go from that situation to that situation?
I think just putting myself in the right areas, like going to the military, getting my college education. And then the military taught me so much. Like, I mean, I was already pretty disciplined, but I was a big partier in high school. I used to drink a lot and have fun and whatever. When I joined the military, I got a top secret clearance, so I could never drink underage because you get arrested. Obviously, couldn't do drugs anyway. And then by the time I turned 21, I was like, I already had too much fun by that point. You know, I was kind of over it. And the military, obviously, I got to go overseas. It wasn't to places I'd want to go. I went to like Iraq and Afghanistan and those kind of places. But it did give me like a totally different perspective on life than most people get, you know? And I was only 20 when I went over there. And yeah, I wasn't like on the front line carrying a gun, but I was like in harm's way for sure. If anytime you're in the war and you're flying in Iraq and Afghanistan, like, you're definitely in harm's way. And just like those things, I was like, I never, you know, I don't know. I could never want to look back and be like, I regret anything that I've done. And so far I've been fortunate enough to not have that, you know, like that outlook or whatever. But yeah, so the military, and then went to college, and you know, the military paid for my college or whatever. But poker, like, I never would have done poker if I would not have been so independent and done the military. Like, I never would have tried poker. I would have been too scared, you know, to like take that leap of faith and like move to Vegas with like no money to try to grind it out. Yeah, for sure. If that answered your question, the military definitely made me the person that I am today. Good, bad, or indifferent, I guess, but mostly good, I think.
So it sounds like you think the military gave you a lot of confidence to go into situations that, like, so let's say you did well in the military and you achieved that challenge. Well, playing poker, maybe similar to that, seems pretty easy to do for you.
Yeah, that's what people are always like, are you nervous or you're scared to play? I was like, no, I'm in America. Playing poker, like, I'm not worried about like getting killed. I'm not worried about like where am I going to eat. I'm not worried about like getting like my bunk blown up at night. Like, you know, It's all like all perspective. People who are afraid of those kind of things haven't had, in my opinion, enough real world experience to put it into like that, you know, into that perspective. Like, what's the worst thing that can happen to you at a poker table? You lose money? Like, so what? Money, like, that's nothing. So, yeah.
I like that, man. Do you have a favorite poker player?
I'm sorry, who's my favorite?
Yeah.
I don't have one.
You don't have a favorite poker player?
Before I moved to Vegas, I used to have lots of favorite poker players that I saw on TV and thought they were this way or that way. When I moved to Vegas and actually got to know them as an individual, I was like, ugh, horrible. They mostly
You know, it's funny. Okay, I gotta say, like some of these guys, some of the TV guys that I don't already know. I guess I know a lot of people. I'm friends with a lot of people too. So, but some of the people, like the name people on TV, those guys are some. Yeah, I don't really like much of those. Like after meeting them in person, inside, it's kind of seeing how they are. Much different perspective on them.
I mean, a lot of them are scummy, like the top pros. And this is obviously, I didn't know when I moved to Vegas, like I didn't know people sold action. I didn't know people had only, 40% of themselves in tournaments. I learned all that when I moved there. But I saw these pros on TV and I'm like, wow, this guy, like he's won like $2 million, blah, blah, blah. Like, yeah, he won maybe 200,000 or 400,000 and then didn't pay people out. And like, I'm just like, I learned so much very quickly when I moved out there, and it kind of turned me off to all that stuff.
That's why I love when Vanessa Russo, during Big Brother, the season finale, she's like, Vanessa has an announcement to make. And then she made an announcement. She's like, I'm actually a professional poker player and I have $4.5 million in cash. I was like, come on, that doesn't even fucking, I got 100 million in an online winning game. I'm going to start saying I've got 100 million motherfucking dollars in cashes playing online poker, because I probably do. I played like 7 million hands. I'm sure I have that much money. It's just, I thought that was, man, I thought that was fuck. I was
like, how much have you won, like, over the years, or whatever? I'm like, well, if you see that I've won, like, I think 250,000 online now, like on for tournaments, take out all my buy-ins, take out all my swaps and percentages, I'm probably break even, like, or losing. I mean,
I've won $12 million, Sammy. People.
Like, I never understand. It's so frustrating. Everyone's like, oh, this person's so good at tournaments. Look, they have like 2 million in winnings. I'm like, yeah. How many, like, I can't wait till the day where they put up how many entry fees you've paid and how much money you had of your actual self when you played the tournament. That would be so epic.
Unfortunately, we're never going to they're never going to reveal that second part, because a lot of people are really guarded. They don't want to let people know, oh, I only had 20% of myself in the situation. After taxes, I only have 10% of myself in this situation. Like, no one really wants to.
They'd be devastated. How many people would be devastated if they actually kept a correct poker journal at the end of it to see how much money they're really not making? They don't. People that I know who don't keep records, they do it because they don't want to know the number. Like, they are so afraid that they'll be losing players or like just break even, and they won't be able to justify the means, like, of them actually playing. So they're just like, oh no, I'm doing fine, whatever. I'm like, oh well, what's your monthly, what's your hourly, whatever. They're like, oh, I don't know, like, and I'm like, okay. So what you're saying is you're a losing player. Like,
I guess they have to make some money because they can afford to pay their bills.
These are the people who have other sources of income. They have like rental.
Okay. Now I 100% agree with you. When someone has an alternative source of income and they think they're winning poker players because they're so delusioned by what really happens. Now I 100% agree. But that's sort of why you get to play professional poker for a living for 8 years. I mean, these are the people you're making money off of in your games.
Yeah, it's awesome. I love it. Like, you'll never catch me being mean to any of them, that's for sure.
Yeah, so at the poker table, you're not one of these guys. What the fuck are you playing the hand like that for? What do you? That was terribly played there. You're not that guy at the table, are you sure?
Definitely not. If anything, I'm quite the opposite. Like, I berate like the regular players who go off on the fish. I'm just like, it still happens to this day. I can't believe it. Like, I still can't fathom that they still do this. But like, when the fun player is just losing, dumping money, and these guys are just going off on them, I'm like, are you really this stupid? Like, I try to make it the best environment possible. The problem is I get hit on a lot, which is kind of frustrating. Like,
how can you handle that situation? So let's do a role play, for example. We'll be at a poker table. I'll be a guy at the table. I'm 38 years old. I'm married. I have 2 kids. I'm very interested in taking you to the bar, getting a drink, and taking you to a hotel.
Wait, you're married with 2 kids and you're interested in taking me to the bar?
I'm not in a happy marriage.
Oh, well, obviously. Okay.
We're playing 5-10. I've seen you a couple times. Okay.
Oh, okay.
All right. So how does it work? I go, what do they even say? Like, oh, you're so beautiful.
No, they don't. They never say that like that cool. Like, they say like, oh, like, they start out like, okay, it's totally benign when they first start out. Like, yeah, like, oh yeah, like my wife and kids, like she's finally playing poker, blah blah. I'm like, oh, that's great. Like, that's really nice that you have someone who understands that, or whatever. And he's like, yeah, my 2 kids. They'll even like show me pictures of their kids. Like, yeah, are my kids great? And like, I'm like, yeah, like, so nice, whatever. And then as like the night progresses, it's like, so like, so you have a boyfriend, but usually I've already told them that. Like, it's one of the first things I tell people. so that it like kind of shuts it down.
Mhm.
'Cause I don't want to like lead anyone on either, you know. And so I'm very open about that. And they're like, so like, yeah, your boyfriend's not here. I noticed. I'm like, yeah, if he works. Like,
What a great fucking line.
yeah, seriously. And they just come out anywhere. And they're like, so yeah, like, oh, well, a couple of us are like thinking about like going out later on. Like, if you want to come with us, you can. And I'm like, oh, you know, and I always go with like, oh, appreciate the offer, but you know, I'm gonna be playing or whatever. So that's usually how it starts. Like if it's the first time I've ever played with the person, if the person like super interested, they keep coming back. Like it has happened. And I know people say like, oh, if you love it getting hit on, you're right. If I was, and I'm just gonna say this, like, I don't care. If I was unattractive or ugly or whatever, you're right. It probably would make me feel good. But I'm fortunate that today, like I can actually go out and like, you know, pick someone up myself. So listen, it's the truth. I mean, what do you want from me?
Yeah, that's so mean, honestly.
No, but it's the truth. It was the same way when I was in the
I'm
military.
not saying it's not the truth, but that's a little mean, man.
Not mean. Honesty hurts, I guess, but okay.
Listen, I'm in the same camp as you. I'm a little bit too honest with people sometimes, but
When I was in the military, I'll give you an example. When I get deployed to the desert, we had one female tent. There was like 12 of us amongst hundreds of guys, okay? And you're stuck there, literally in the middle of nowhere, in the desert, in the tent. They would say, like, these girls, like, they would be like, oh, how's it feel to be a 10? Like, a 2 in the States, a 10 in the desert. That's where the line comes from the military. Like, a 2 in the States, a 10, like, because they literally are like a 2 or like a 4. But in the desert, like, your stock goes way, way up, you know?
right.
Like, there's a reason when I landed, my plane, like, landed on the ground, like, the C-130, the ramp went down. My brother was standing at the bottom of the ramp waiting to escort me off the plane. Like, it just is what it is. So, like, the same thing in poker. Like, you're right. Like, I am happy and fortunate that I'm attractive. Like, I'm not stupid. I get that I am decent looking. But I don't need to get hit on. Like, I get tired of it. I mean, maybe when I'm 50 or something and I'm not as attractive and maybe I'll want to get hit on then. But right now, I'm okay. Like, you don't need to hit on me. So I kind of put them in their place very quickly. The guy's married. Once in Vegas, this guy was talking all day long about his fiance and how hot she was and they were so much in love and blah, 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 blah. Literally, like probably 6 hours straight, I've had it inundated with this crap. Then all of a sudden, like an escort comes and sits down at the game. Because this happened all the time in Vegas. Escorts come and sit at the game. I was playing 2-5 at the time. They sit at the game and try to pick the guys up from the game. Oh, yeah. Anyway, he left with her. He's talking this whole time about how he loves his fiance and blah, 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 blah. He got up from the game and went with that girl and then came back. And I know who he is. And I was like, just so you know, like, I'm like a super advocate for like women in this kind of spot. Like, I will happily get on Facebook and tell your fiance what just happened, unless you want to tell her yourself. So like, I don't have any tolerance for it.
So what happened? Let's keep going. What happened? Did you tell her?
What
happened? You told the wife, right?
I did not. Oh. I did not. Let's just say she found out, but I did not tell her.
Were you his fiance by any chance? Dude, so says.
No, but I haven't had that. I've had that before. Sorry, my dog's going crazy.
That's okay. Shout to your dog. What's your dog?
He's a little guy. Littlefoot.
Little dog.
Littlefoot. What's your girlfriend? What's your girlfriend?
7 lines. Or I'll tell you, YouTube. Chewbacca. What's up? Chewbacca. 666. What up? Yo. Orbital says that's showing her. Did I pay to make this comment? It sounds like it's been. That's showing from 1, aka Chicago Joy. Check him out on. What? What's up, man? Ball Balky. No. 7th line, Joey. Will you do a short solo podcast? Some people like me who don't know much yet are curious about your past and present. Oh, that's all on Google, Poppy. But maybe one day, man. Maybe one day. I met the escort. I didn't.
What?
All right, guys, we'll take some questions from the chat. If you guys have any questions for Young, Jessica, Dawley, please let us know right now. Could be anything, but don't hit on her though because she fucking hates it.
Yeah, I don't like it. It gets annoying after a while. Like I don't know what to say. You know, like what are you supposed to say to guys?
No,
like
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I'm not sure. I can't. I mean, I get.
Like for me, like whenever I find out someone's married or has a boyfriend or a girlfriend or whatever, I stop like being interested in them. But there's always so unassuming. Like my boyfriend's always like, these guys are hitting on you. You don't even notice it. And I'm like, I don't give them the time of day, so it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
I shut them down, like
I'm a very big advocate of not going on the MGG, the married girl grind. There's nothing positive that happens in the married girl grind. If you ever meet a married woman or someone in a relationship and they tell you, we're having problems, we're arguing, I'm not happy, get the fuck away, man. You gotta get the fuck out of there. Nothing good comes from that situation. They got kids, Nothing good, especially is going to come from that situation.
Yeah, I mean, when I was younger, I definitely made mistakes and that kind of stuff with those things, but I just was stupid and naive and young, dumb. Not anymore. I'm a one-man woman, and that's it.
Allegedly. Okay.
No, it's the truth.
Okay, I believe you. Zoe, you weird motherfucker. How tall is she?
Me?
Yeah.
5'7", just over 5'7".
5'7", 5'7". 5'7", okay. I think that's short. Isn't that kind of short for a girl? Or is that average?
Tall for a girl.
Tall for a girl.
Yeah.
I like the girls that are like 6'1", 6 foot
Really?
tall.
Wow,
Yeah. I'm pretty tall though. I like the girl, like the TGG tall girl grind.
Oh, how tall are you?
Like 6'2".
Oh, okay. Like Kate's tall. Kate's tall, but she's so thin. Like, I hate her. She's thin and tall. She's like my nemesis.
She's your nemesis. That's
she's thin and tall and good at poker. It's like game over.
Orbital says, Joey, ask her. Oh yeah, okay. So Sarah Grant, we just had her on a podcast. She brought a new question on the table. She might. Were you on Sarah Grant's? You did. Yeah. Did you do her thing this summer in Vegas?
Yeah.
Did she ask you who you wanted to bang in poker?
Not heads up. Not like specifically. We did yeah.
Fuck, Mary, kill. But she gave me this new question. You asked the guest who they'd most want to bang in poker if they could.
Well, I don't know if my boyfriend would appreciate that. To be fair,
I love that question.
Poker, to be fair in poker, I've probably already done that. So.
Oh.
I mean, I dated someone that I would have. Yeah. So no one else.
Who was the person?
I can't say.
You dated him though. Is it public now?
No. Come on. I use the term dating lightly, very loosely dated. I went out with this person. No. Anyway.
Can I get 7 questions to ask?
7 about this person?
Yeah.
No, because I wouldn't want to do that to them now that they're in a different state.
You don't have to confirm the guys. Just give me 7 guesses. Let me just give me the questions. Give me the honest answers, and we'll go from there.
I'll give you 2.
Is it a tournament player?
Yes.
What year was it in?
2009.
Timex. No, he was like 14 then. Never mind. Damn it. God damn,
wow, you snagged it too quick.
Fuck. I was gonna say Jason Kuhn too, but that's where the
God.
Hollywood Haxton. No, Hollywood Haxton was an online player back in the day. It was not Hollywood Haxton, guys.
Anyway, moving on. I'll answer that question ever in the future if it's a different situation. But no, with my boyfriend, it's kind of I think it's kind of not very, very fair to him. But yeah, no.
When did Patrick Antonius get a girlfriend? Listen, if I'd probably want to be Patrick Antonius if I was a chick, man. He's getting older, but he's still an attractive dude.
I saw him in the gym this summer. I was still impressed.
Oh, were you at Fedara?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was at Fedara too. I saw him in the gym too. He looked a little small though.
He did, but I'm saying like he still looks, he's still attractive. Get your girlfriend. Get your girlfriend. Sorry, my dog is.
That's okay. Come on, the dog come on the podcast.
Yeah, he wants to. He's over there working. Get your girlfriend.
It was Bad Beat Slayer.
Obviously, he's the one that probably posted that.
It was Bad Beat Slayer. J. Nick Scott says it could have been Luke, man. It might have been our boy Luke. It might have been him. Bessie says, what does Jessica think of the U.S. sites for cash games? Vada, ACR, 6max cash games are juicy AF, IMO, and she isn't missing an opportunity by not playing them.
Can't play them, so not really missing any opportunity.
Why not? 888 poker?
Yeah, I mean, they wouldn't care, but if on legal sites, they don't care. But it just wouldn't be very, wouldn't be very good for me. So, But I do have a lot of friends who play on Bovada and ACR, mostly tournaments. Most of my friends play on there. They love it, but I just can't be involved. So, Yep, only live grinding and playing online in Atlantic City or in Jersey.
Okay.
Yeah. Does
she get hit on by regs too? I get it if fun players do it because the poker player is like the club to them, just entertainment.
I do. It's obviously, over time it's kind of slowed down a lot because the guys know me. They know my boyfriend for the most part, I know that I have a boyfriend. But there's still occasionally like guys that will at least drop a hint, They don't understand like they're drawing completely dead. So
you got to understand from a male perspective, that's called a Hail Mary right there. You got nothing to lose in that situation.
I'm going to tell you, hold on, Salzburg's texting me. Let's see if he says anything fun. It's probably that he's going to ship me $80. Hold on. Oh my God, Matt says, go fuck yourself for not saying me. Obviously, you, Matt. No, oh, a really quick funny story. So like you said, the Hail Mary, whatever. Literally, guys, like they have no, what's the word?
Shame.
No shame, none. Okay, I'll give you two examples. One was I was sitting in a car with my boyfriend at the time, driving down like in Delray or whatever, down at the beach, and there's like a gym like right at the stoplight, like on the corner, glass windows. A guy was hitting on me. I was in the car, like from the gym. He was writing his number on the window, like to try to get me. I'm like, I'm in the car with my boyfriend. Like, this is so absurd. Like, they just don't care. I'll give you another example, Paul Pierce. So funny. Like, we've had like this dynamic over the years, like we talking shit to him all the time and stuff. Anyway, we were playing up in Parks. What? Paul?
Pierce.
Yeah, just poker. Like, anyway, we're up at Parks or whatever, and like, he's just, I don't know, I guess I don't want to blow his spot up, so I probably shouldn't say it. Anyway, never mind.
Blow a spot. Come on, let's hear. Give us like the PG-13 of it version of it.
No, like, I don't. Maybe he was single at the time, but anyway, he's hitting on me at the table, and like, and I've known Paul for years, like just playing in Vegas and stuff together, whatever. And he's hitting on me at the table, and I'm like dying laughing because my boyfriend at the time was at the table behind me. Like, there was two games going. He was at the like table behind me. He could hear him like the whole time, and everyone at the table was cracking up because they all knew. And he's just like, come on, like, I don't understand. He's like, no, he's like, obviously you can't be a man. You're at the poker table. It's like midnight on like a Saturday or whatever. So like, obviously he doesn't care about you, saying all this kind of stuff. Like, he's like, I don't know, why won't you go out with me? I don't understand. And I was like, oh, I was like, aren't you married? And he's like, listen, you know, like going on or whatever anyway. And I'm like, yeah, it's probably not going to work out, but like, appreciate it. And like, my boyfriend literally was at the other table. It was hilarious. He was like nonstop, like he's nonstop talking shit about him. And he's just like right there, like, anyway. So they don't care. Some guys just go for it. It's their only chance, I guess. So.
Yo, shout out to Paul Pierce for going with it, man.
Yeah, no, he didn't care.
I wouldn't care either if I was Paul Pierce. I got to be honest with you. I wouldn't care at all. Ghost of M says, ask Jessica, you are sponsored by 888, but don't live in New Jersey. Do you know when other states are likely to be open up for 888? Do they discuss that with you?
They discuss it. I mean, obviously their hopes, I think, would be maybe like Pennsylvania next or whatever. I don't live there, but we do have a house up there. So I go up there pretty frequent to play. So it works out well. And we also have a house in Pennsylvania. My family's up there as well. So it would work out great for me if they get Pennsylvania online. It would be huge. Pennsylvania and then possibly New York, like, it'd be massive up there. I really hope they do. So
I think we all hope online poker comes back in the states that we currently live in.
Yeah, for sure.
Let me see. Melike. Oh, what's up, Melike? What up, Poppy? Hans from the lab. For our chemist friend Hans actually spends time in an actual lab.
Wow.
He says, Jessica, you think that playing versus guys you can read? What? Do you think that playing versus guys you can read them easier because, well, what? Hans, you cannot be a fucking chemist using sentence structure like this, buddy.
Well, he's probably typing really fast, or he's at work, doesn't want to get in trouble.
Yeah, it might be doing like some sort of like mixture of ingredients right now. So yeah. Jess, let me see on the list. I don't know. Do you have anything else you want to add, Jess? You have anything you want to throw in here?
Not a lot. I mean, thanks for having me on. And I know like there was that whole like female controversy thing online. Like, I don't get involved in any kind of stuff because I think it's retarded. I think it's just so stupid. Like,
listen, when Kate was on here talking about it, I wasn't sure what was happening, so I just had it on because it was pop. It was like I wanted to learn more about it, and I learned a little bit more about it. But it's sort of like I don't understand what both sides are upset about that much. So I'm learning though. I'm learning.
The biggest thing is that a lot of the people who have an issue with it have never worked a normal job or been in a corporate environment where people get promoted because they're related to someone or because they're friends or whatever. It's very similar to that in poker. Like, obviously a female having a sponsorship deal is going to be more dollars for that company for the most part. So yeah, if it makes more money for them, of course that's what they're going to go after. And I think if just people took away the female male aspect and just thought, who makes this person the most amount of money? That's all they need to look at. And then yes, okay, it is XYZ. Who cares? But they haven't had that life experience that I was talking about earlier. And so for them, like, I understand where they're coming from. They don't understand, but that's okay. They can have their own opinion.
So you're saying it's just like that in pretty much everything that works, whether it's
and all in who you know. That's just how the world goes around. Like, it just is. The more people you know, the more you can get ahead in life, the more you can do. Like, you put yourself in those situations. I would never have gotten my sponsorship deal had I not known Anna Jessica from WPC. Like, if I didn't know him and we weren't meant to go have dinner, I would never have met the director of 888. Just a fluke accident. I mean, literally, like, that's just how the world works. So it's all right.
Okay. I think, do you have a Jungle Man impression before we go?
A Jungle Man impression?
Yeah, Jungle Man impression, yeah.
No? What do you mean? Like
Daniel Jungle Man Cates. It's a very popular segment on here where someone does a Jungle Man impression.
Oh no, I didn't know
that. Oh, okay. Do you have a Tom Dur? Wait, no. Who the fuck can we have you do an impression of? Do you have a Vanessa Selps impression?
Oh, she scares me. She's so intense. I know Dur, by the way. I know Tom. I know Tom for a long time.
Do you have a Dur impression?
I don't think I can mimic his expression. Like, with it, like, looks like he's like, I don't know, having a big decision or taking a shit every time he's
I've been working on my Scott Seaver impression now. It's getting pretty good.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. It's like, hold on, me if I can get it real quick.
Oh, let's go outside. You want to go outside, go potty?
It's like a... Something like that. I've been working at it. I've been watching videos and stuff like that. I like to do impressions. I like to study them. I'm not good at them, but I'm learning.
Yeah, you're going to need to for your talk show.
No, I'm not going to have a talk show like you. No.
You have any more questions for me? Did I answer all your stuff?
No, I mean, I could keep this going on for 5 hours with the kid, but we like to keep it under a time. It's almost been 2 hours now. I like to keep things under a nice time limit. But I could be doing this all day long. It'd just be keep going. It'd be flowing like this for fucking 7 hours right here. It just
yeah, for sure. I can talk about it.
It never stops, man. No, I got through. Let me see. I'll tell you what I wrote down. Oh yeah, guest this week, guys. We're having Timex on Wednesday, 3 p.m. Eastern, and then Luke Schwartz, full flush, the fucking legend himself. I'm gonna be wearing yellow. I'm getting the Jakey watch, Jakey's whatever, for that podcast Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern also. And let me see what I had written down. I had poker history, Air Force, what you play now, cash game strategy, big score tournament, how do you get better, life outside. Man, I wrote down like 25 things. But I talked about like 4 or 5 of them. So, yeah. Man, I missed the most DJ in Vegas story. I don't even get to that one. Do you have a most DJ in Vegas story?
Oh, yeah. I just wrote about it in an article. I just wrote for All In this month. Yeah. It's about, they'll be able to read it. It's about a prop bet that I made. It's in the magazine this coming month, in All In magazine. Huh. And it's a good one. And by good one, I mean it's very depressing.
Oh, no.
I made a prop bet about to eat chocolate, eating the chocolate bars. Oh, so stupid. I was young and naive, thought people were honest, and I was wrong. So I lost a lot of money.
Wow.
Yeah, so everyone can read about that, but that's my most DJing thing in Vegas. It's the most amount of money that I've lost instead of doing something really stupid. Note to self and for everyone else, if someone makes and offers a prop bet to you, they have the edge. You do not, so.
Jessica, I'm up over $100,000 in prop bets lifetime on 2+2 because of that factor, by the way. So let's leave it at that. That's some deep strategy right there. Jackson said, just joining, not sure if this was already said, but she looks like the female Isildrun. You're the second person to say that. She looks like the female Isildrun. Isildrun looks like a very pretty Swedish woman.
Are you sure? I feel like everyone's calling me a dude.
No, he looks like kind of like a girl. He looks like a girl. He's got long hair. He looks like a chick.
My dog is stepping on that.
Oh, hello, little dog.
Little foot.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Big underbite.
What's
it starts
up,
raining, so he's getting scared.
All right, guys. We're gonna wrap things up. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for all the questions. Thanks for all the comments. Thanks for being here. If you want to follow Jessica on Twitter, it's at Jessica Dawley. Correct, Jessica?
Yes. So unique.
Very unique. You got to have your own name if you want to be on Dancing with the Stars.
That's right. Hello.
All right, guys. That's it. I'm out.
So much
love. Jessica, thanks for coming on. I'll see you soon.
Okay. Take care.
All right. See you later.